Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Flamboro Speedway. It's round number 2 of the 2025 APC United Late Model Series. It is round 1 of the NTN Bearings Triple Crown. Flamboro Speedway, 150 laps, 20 cars are in the facility. Clinton Jeffrey is with one of our pre-race favorites, Josh Stoddy.
I got Josh Stoddy here. Josh, point leader after only one race at Sunset. Is that a true test of what your season's going to be? Or, so many things still have to unfold here?
Yeah, I feel like we're just taking it race by race, honestly. We found some issues with this thing. I had a left front caliper seized up at first practice and some unforeseen stuff that you're not really relying on at the track. So, I don't know, we're taking it race by race. We don't have necessarily the speed that some of the other guys have, but it's comfortable and it's consistent, so I'm happy with that.
Flamboro could be a gnarly place. You're either happy here, comfortable here, or it's a place you just need to get through. Where are you on that scale?
I feel like you just got to get through it, honestly. You can be comfortable, and depending on how a restart goes, it could change. So I'm comfortable in the car. I don't really care so much about the speed of it. As long as it's comfortable for 150 laps, at the end of the day, everything will play out the way it's going to play.
Now with 150, how does that change your game plan at all?
I like the extended long races. Honestly, last year I felt like we really came into our own with the 200 lapper winning that one, and 300 lapper broken sway bar still finished third. So I like the long races. I'm hoping that I have learned enough about saving tires and stuff like that, and we can be there at the end.
All right, guys, there's your point leader, Josh Stoddy, as he gets set to tackle a very tough track here at Flamboro tonight.
With 150 laps on the card here tonight in the GRISDALE Racing Products 150, drivers are going to have to get up on the wheel, get elbows up, get aggressive, and not put up with any nonsense. We've got some fantastic drivers in the house to do just that. Drivers like Sean Chenoweth in the 89C, and like this driver who's with Clinton Jeffrey, Jake Sheridan, always good when the going gets tough.
We're here with Jake Sheridan. Jake, you've had some fast runs to start the year, but new car, new situation. How do you feel about the APC series as we get ready to roll into race number 2?
Yeah, good. I mean, every track we've been to so far, we've won it this year, so it's been a good start for sure. The car's been a rocket. It's been a great piece. We had just a bad set of tires, unfortunately, some bad luck at Sunset in the ABC race there, and practiced really good and put that set on and didn't qualify at all. So it's all good, but I feel good today. We're similar here to last time. It's about 30 degrees hotter, so it's been a bit of a gamble, trying to figure where we're at, and obviously late models got the tire game going on, who's on tires, who ain't. So it's all good. I think we're confident here with our piece, and we got 150 laps to figure out here tonight, so we'll see where we end up.
When you talk about it being very hot here today, our first really hot, steamy day of the season, how's that changed things in the car? Like for a fan watching at home, what are some differences they may notice about the heat taking effect on you guys?
You're just working twice as hard, to be honest. Like, you're not handling the way you're supposed to, and motors make a little bit less power, and it's just slippery. It just feels like you're just driving on a little bit of rain, I guess. I don't know, like on your street car, but it's just a little slick in, and you get tire pressure up, and you're just fighting yourself. You're just out of where you're supposed to be. So we've been fighting that a little bit, trying to come down, run some short runs, keep the heat cycles off these tires, and just trying to be as smart as we can about it. Probably could have put a couple better laps down, but just being smart about how we're working on our race car. So worked out really, really good there. Got some good laps in and ran a decent amount of laps, and just kind of got things figured out for tonight, and hopefully we hit the temperature swing correctly here come feature time.
All right, good luck. Jake Sheridan, one of the fast ones rolling off here today, guys. We'll watch this throughout the night, but the temperature is going to be an issue tonight, and we'll follow that story as the night goes on, guys.
Well, race fans, it is time to go racing here at Flamboro Speedway. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll be joined by the voice of Flamboro Speedway, Kevin Small, and a special guest tonight, Lane Zardo, is going to join us in the booth for some fantastic racing.
Five-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Step into the fast lane with the Race of Champions Modified Series, only on RacingAmerica.tv. The best drivers, the wildest races, and non-stop action are here, bringing the heat to short tracks all through New York and the Northeast. From nail-biting finishes to fierce rivalries, this is modified racing at its best. Don't miss a minute of the excitement. Watch the Race of Champions family of series all year long, only on Racing America.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordeo Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8 mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordeoMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. Again, I'm Adam Ross, joined by Kevin Small up here in the booth. Lane Zardo's going to be with us a little later on. Clinton Jeffrey is down trackside, and we are just moments away from time trials. Traditional single-car time trials for tonight's GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Kevin, Mother Nature finally cooperates.
Finally, we have a nice sunny night here at Flamboro Speedway. We've had a couple nights where we've battled some rain and some cold weather, so it's great to see that big fireball up off of turn number 2 heating the racetrack, and that's going to change things a little bit too as the night goes on. The weather's going to change a little bit. Once that sun goes down, track's going to cool off, and we're going to be in for some really, really good racing. I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Fantastic field of cars. 20 late models are in the house, 20 pure stocks are in the house, 16 TQ midgets. So that's going to be a ton of fun. And looking at practice, Jake Sheridan said something really interesting in his interview with Clinton Jeffrey. Late model racing, people were putting on new tires. So I think he was kind of throwing out the implication Kyle Steckley might not be as fast as people think he is. They had some fresh rubber on the race car. So I think Jake Sheridan will be fun to watch tonight. So will. The way it works, everybody is now on fresh tires for qualifying. It's a great equalizer.
Yeah, fresh rubber really makes a big difference for a lot of guys. I know a couple of the drivers were down here a couple weeks ago to kind of get their feet wet, test it out. Jake Sheridan picked up a 50-lap win, so it was good to see him here. And we went 50 laps green. That can really tell the crew a lot what the car is going to do over the course of 50 laps. Tonight we're doing 150, a little bit different, but 50 laps is a good test run to see how that car is going to perform over the course of the race.
And in reality, every driver, if you talk to them right now, said, oh, I'm going to take it easy for the first half of the race, let things play out. Flamboro Speedway doesn't allow for that, because when you take it easy, you get taken advantage of, because this is a real bull ring short track, so you've kind of got to be on the offensive at all times. And that's where I watch for a veteran like Sean Chenoweth, someone who's super aggressive like Shea Gemmel or Jake Sheridan, to do really well.
Yeah, a lot of those drivers that you mentioned, they've cut their teeth here at Flamboro Speedway. We've seen Shea Gemmel, he comes back. He's won the GRISDALE Triple Crown a couple years now in the running. Sean Chenoweth, he's shown speed here every single time he's been out. So it's a lot of those local drivers that have got hundreds and hundreds of laps here at Flamboro Speedway. It's going to pay off for them in the long run. We've seen a couple races here with the APC United late models where we've seen them go almost green to checkered the whole time. So you're going to have to kind of get in the mix, like you said there, Adam. We're going to have to get up on the wheel early on to make sure you don't end up going a lap down, because this is a third-mile bull ring. Stuff happens in a very, very short period of time.
The APC series is a short enough schedule as it is. You can't afford to throw away any dates. Add to that, this is the start of the NTN BCA Bearings Triple Crown. Extra points are on the line, so these drivers are going to be itching to get out there and succeed. First on the racetrack to take time from Vanessa, Ontario, the Presley's Pumpkin Patch Gallant Farms iPro Realty Dave Baker sponsored number 31 of Kevin Gallant. Kevin is a veteran of a lot of different types of racing here at Flamboro Speedway. First lap is 16.321. 16.321, the lap record for Kevin Gallant, or the first lap rather. We'll see if that's going to be the lap record. He should be able to pick up speed. Like I say, a traditional 2-lap time trial. 15.983, decent pickup for Gallant on his second lap. Next on track from Durham, the NTN BCA bearings, number 71, it's Corey McAllister. Now this car ran some last year with Lane Zarda behind the wheel. Corey McAllister suffered a back injury during the season, so he's excited to be out there running the full schedule. Gulf Race Fuel struck energy systems on that race car, and this will be his first lap on the clock. He's got to beat a 15.983. 16.090, 16.090 for McAllister on lap number 1. Car looks glued to the racetrack, hard on the throttle down the front stretch. New fast time, 15.722. 15.722 for McAllister.
McAllister was one of those drivers out here a couple weeks ago, so good to see him picking up speed and got some practice, which is always important here at Flamboro.
Next up, the only female racer in the field. She comes from Innisfil, the Mobile One, Connell's Construction, Aurelia Metal Fabrication, number 2, Kendra Adams. Kendra with a lot of experience at Sunset Speedway in their limited late model division for many years. Decided to come out on tour this season, and this is a big difference. Sunset's got high banking. You can really charge the corners. Here at Flamboro, you've really got to back the car down, keep the car to the bottom of the racetrack. Let's see how Kendra Adams can do. White flag in the air, her first lap. 16.832 on lap number 1 for Kendra Adams. She'll look to pick up here on the second lap, looking much better. .423, picked up about 0.4 of a second there on that second lap. Still will leave her third out of the 3 cars that have been on track. Up next from Pickering, the Real Landscaping Plus, Langeal Metal Recycling and Truck Parts, Snow City Cycle and Marine number 94, Corey Luciano. Corey Luciano burst onto the scene a couple seasons ago, showed up everywhere, went down to Florida, went racing. They seem to slow things down a little bit. Good to see him out here this weekend, because he was on the verge of making great speed.
He was, and he was again one of those drivers that was out here a couple weekends ago getting more laps in, and he was pretty quick in practice, so we'll see what he does here on lap number 1.
Car looks good, using all that racetrack. New fast time, 15.702. That is 0.3 of a second quicker than anybody has run on their first lap. What can he knock off here on lap number 2? 15.472. Great qualifying run for Corey Luciano. Up next, he's a local out of Hamilton. The Bennett Construction Group, Platinum 1 Contracting, Streamline Racing Products, Van Duren Racing Development, number 51. It's Mike Bentley. Bentley scrubbing tires at high speed out there in that 51. He is traditionally a very good qualifier. Unfortunately, it is also tradition that Mike Bentley has had some tough luck in a lot of these races. It'd be great to see him put together 150 good laps. 15.748, decent opening lap. What can he pick up here? Car looking strong off of turn number 4. P2 by 2/100ths of a second, 15.497 for Mike Bentley. Up next out of Port Hope, Science Flooring Facility Services, the sponsor on the number 81, Jacob Mercer. Jacob Mercer, a young racer, a regular up at Peterborough Speedway in that 81 machine, brings the car up to speed. He'll see the green flag from Sean Gibbs this time at a turn 4. Little bit loose there in turn 2. Down through 3 and 4, able to keep the car pinned to the bottom of the racetrack, get back to the throttle. 15.996. He'll have to pick up half a second if he wants to contend for the provisional pole right now. Checkered flag in the air. P3, 15.623 for Jacob Mercer. Up next from Ohsweken, Ontario, the Glenn Steyers Racing, Ohsweken Speedway G-Force TV number 0, also sponsored by Chantarelli. It's Glenn Steyers. Glenn Steyers, a master of going fast in any kind of race car, a member of the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. Got his original start in racing back in the 1990s right here at Flamboro Speedway, and he is on the clock. That car is a bit of a handful through 1 and 2 the first time. .247 the opening lap, but you can already see that car tracking much better on lap 2. .728 will put him into the 5th spot, just 6/1000ths of a second behind Corey McAllister. And that'll make room for a driver from Guelph in the 97D. The Hutco Electric Supply, Bremner Construction, MRC Wireless 97D. It's Tyler DiVincenzo. No, it's not. It's the 41 from Grimsby. The Ace Services 41 of Trayton Lapsevich. Ace Services, HumberviewParts.ca, ImageWraps.ca, Holdaway Automotive. Lapsevich has a good looking first lap on the go here as the white flag flies. 15.677, that's a great first lap. New fast time, 15.397 for Trayton Lapsevich. I'm not calling the next driver until I see them poke over the hill this time. Out of Chesley, the Canadian Flat Roof Systems, Nickel Insurance, APC, Vinnie's Masonry, Piccoli Construction, number 17. The winner of the opening round at Sunset Speedway, it's Josh Stoddy. Stoddy coming off a great performance at Sunset Speedway. Was able to fend off all challengers. 150 laps here tonight. That's a different ball game. What's the first lap going to be for Stoddy? 15.644. Excellent opening lap. He puts those left side tires right on the seam around 1 and 2. New fast time, 15.284. 15.284 for Josh Stoddy. Now up, he's out of Guelph. 3 generations of the Shaw family have raced here at Flamboro Speedway. The Wellington Systems Shaw Motorsports, number 83, it's Dale Shaw. Shaw slides away up the racetrack there in turn number 3. Admittedly, Flamboro Speedway is not Dale Shaw's favorite racetrack. He's had some gnarly crashes here over the years. Nothing to make him happier than getting through 150 laps unscathed. His first lap is a good one, 15.707. Car slides up the racetrack a little bit in 1 and 2, not able to keep it on that bottom groove, which is generally the faster line, but let's see if he's able to compensate. P3, 15.455. 15.455 for Dale Shaw. Up next, also out of Guelph. The Just Foam It, Stage It With Style, Spira Fire Protection number 18. Sorry, he's not out of Guelph, he's out of Orangeville. This is Cole Quinton. An intelligent young man, an engineering student at the University of Waterloo. If you're not from around here, that's one of the hardest universities to get into, even harder to stay in.
Quinton's got I believe they're doing something there with Toronto Sick Kids as well, so it's good to see the support, especially from a young racer like that, doing a lot in the community there as well on that 18 machine.
Yeah, we'll get to talking with Cole Quinton, hopefully during the autograph session, but it's the 150th anniversary of the Toronto Sick Kids Hospital. 15.480, I believe that's the fastest opening lap we've had. Hooks that seam in the pavement through 1 and 2, the car looking great down through 3 and 4. New fast time, 15.243 for Cole Quinton. 15.243. Next up from London, the Elite Racing Team, Paragon sponsored number 78. It's Joe Lawrence. Joe Lawrence, a very talented late model racer. Historically has done more with less year after year. Got some great support the last couple of seasons. We love to see it. He's going to bring that 78 to the green flag out of turn 4. Couple of feet off the bottom of the racetrack where you want to be. Not a big deal here on this first lap. This is one where you're just building heat into those American Racer tires. 15.672 the first lap for Joe Lawrence. Up off the groove just a little bit again on his money lap here. Let's see if that hurts him on the stopwatch. P3, 15.370, sneaking past Trayton Lapsevich by a couple hundredths of a second. That'll make room for a driver I think we need to keep our eyes on here tonight. Out of Plattsville, the London Recreational Racing, Mannheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services, number 89C, Sean Chenoweth. Tri-County sandblasting across the back of that race car. Always fast here at Flamboro Speedway, but he had new life at Sunset a few weeks ago. First lap. Slow to show up. I believe it was 15.483. P3. 15.327. The money lap for Sean Chenoweth. Our next driver comes from Kilworth, the Domus Developments, Levens Automotive, Glencoe Recycling, H&N Roofing, number 19, Connor Pritico. Notice everybody has a different routine, Kevin, for scrubbing their tires, getting some heat into the rubber. Some of them choose to come out and attack the racetrack and let the speed build the heat. Others choose to take it a little bit slower, scrub the tires back and forth. But all of them have to jump on the throttle by the time they get to turn number 3 to take that green flag. Connor Pritico with some donuts on the left side of that race car, some battle scars from a season that is still pretty fresh for these drivers. Don't see his first lap timing and scoring given a little bit of a hiccup. 16.071 from the looks of it. Second lap a little bit quicker, 15.648. That'll leave him in the 10th spot, so that'll be a little disappointing for Connor Pritico. 5 drivers remain, actually 6 if you count Tyler DiVincenzo. Not sure what the problem might be on the 97D. First of those drivers from Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Centers. Canusa Automotive Warehousing, Miami Muscle number 3, Shea Gemmel.
Gemmel, no stranger to Flamboro Speedway, picked up that GRISDALE Triple Crown last fall. So we'll see what the number 3 machine has here on lap number 1. As the white flag goes up in the air, lap number 1 up on the clock.
15.676, a solid opening lap for Shea Gemmel. The car a little bit loose there in turn number 2, but he never lifted off the throttle. .524, ninth quickest. So a couple of these drivers surprisingly not laying down big laps. That's leaving people like Trayton Lapsevich, Dale Shaw, Corey Luciano well up inside that top 10. Next up, from Guelph, the PV Mart Burn Workwear Epic Racewear, the Burn Workwear Epic Racewear number 72. It's Junior Farley. Junior Farley, of course, a winner last year at Sunset Speedway. Car pushed a little bit there into turns 1 and 2 on the opening lap. As the tires come up to temperature, the air pressures come up to where they need to be. Let's see what he does on lap number 1. 15.831, 14th quickest on lap 1 for Junior Farley. How much can he pick up on lap 2? Not a lot. 10th quickest, 15.574. 15.574 for Farley. Puts him just behind Shea Gemmel, just ahead of Jacob Mercer. And makes room for the driver from Windsor, the Liuna-sponsored number 30. It's Ray Morneau. Ray Morneau with the car always immaculately prepared. He and his dad Randy and the rest of the crew down there in Windsor. A regular at Delaware Speedway on Friday nights. Takes the green flag. You can actually see these cars on the straightaway are a handful for these drivers. First lap for Ray Morneau. 15.698, a decent opening lap. Can he pick up a few tenths of a second here on lap 2? P6, 15.428, 6th quickest. So that's got Cole Quinton in the 18 still at the top. The 17, Josh Dottie, second. 89C, Sean Chenoweth, third. Can anybody knock them off? This driver's from Mount Bridges. Wow. That is the fastest tire scrubbing I've ever seen. Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane, Connell Construction, number 52 of Jake Sheridan. New look for Sheridan this year, won in a photo finish over Kyle Steckley at Delaware Speedway not too long ago. 15.336, a great opening lap, has Jake Sheridan in the 4th spot. Can he knock off Cole Quinton? We're about to find out as the checkered flag flies. New fast time, 15.204 by 4/100ths of a second. He is faster than Cole Quinton. Up next, the fastest driver from practice out of Milverton. The APC Auto Parts Centers, Canusa Automotive Warehousing. Pennzoil, GSR sponsored, number 22. It's Kyle Steckley. Steckley charges down into turn number 1, keeps that car around the bottom a little bit loose, has to counter steer in turn 2. Same in 3 and 4, a little bit tight going in. And his first lap shows 15.515. He is 11th quick, wants to pick it up here on the second lap. Checkered flag in the air. P2. Identical lap time to Cole Quinton, 15.243. If there is anybody else, it would be Tyler DiVincenzo in the 97D, but I don't think Tyler's going to make the call here for qualifying. So race fans, Jake Sheridan, your fast qualifier in the 52, the 22, Kyle Steckley, 18, Cole Quinton, 17, Josh Stoddy, and 89C, Sean Chenoweth, your top 5. 6th through 10th and 78, Joe Lawrence, the 41, Trayton Lapsevich, 30, Ray Morneau, 83, Dale Shaw, and the 94 of Corey Luciano. 11th on back, Mike Bentley in the 51, 3, Shea Gemmel, 72, Junior Farley, 81, Jacob Mercer, 19, Connor Pritico, 71, Corey McAllister, the 0 of Glenn's Tires, 31 of Kevin Gallant, the 2 of Kendra Adams. Clint, I didn't hear you click your microphone, did I? No. We had talked this week about Clint possibly spending the first half of the race back in the pit area where more of the action is. You don't get a lot of the action from the infield here. But Kevin, a great qualifying session.
Yeah, really good qualifying session. Jake Sheridan, fast, and that number 52 machine. He was fast. He came down a couple weekends ago, picked up the checkered flag in the 50-lap feature event that we had for our pro late models here. So picking up right where he left off. He puts that 52 on P1 on the pylon.
Up next, the feature for the Can-Am TQ midgets. But before we get to that, Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, guys. We've got Jake Sheridan here, our Epic Racewear Fast Time Award winner. He will receive 2 complimentary crew shirts for his fast time here, and we'll get the photos done, and we'll get in here and get a quick word with Jake. Jake, you know, you kind of teased a bit during your pre-race interview saying, you know, maybe these guys aren't as fast as they are on these new tires. You showed today you've got the speed. Your car just looked angry from the start. Are you angry or are you ready to win tonight?
No, you just like get up on the wheel these days here, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's what this place is about, which is so cool. The place promotes being, hard racing and some talent. So it's pretty awesome. Obviously, a lot of good cars here. You know, we're not in the pole by a bunch, but I thought I threw it away there going into 1. I missed the bomb a little bit. I had a lot of rear brake into it, and I just probably screwed up a little bit, but it's okay. It was enough. So I got a solid piece. We worked best we could all day in practice, and these guys all week done a great job. McCall car has been awesome, and really happy to get first pole of the year here for Raptor and Pride Seeds and Connell Construction and Vibrant Farms.
You have your longest race of the year kicking off tonight so far. What are your changes in the game plan going from 100 to 150?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think anything lasting any 100 lapper at this place is tough. So I don't really know what that means for us for an invert at this point, but I don't even know where we are in points. So we'll see how that turns out for us, and it is what it is at this point. So definitely a couple of things. You got to get there. I think we say that all the time, but this place you got to make sure you get there. It's prone to cause problems. So I would expect the first 75 maybe wouldn't be too hectic, but I'd like to be up there by then and put some racing on with some good cars for the finish. So definitely got to keep our right front tire in mind here. I think we got a pretty hooked up race car on exit, so I'm going to nurse it best I can to the middle, and we'll be there at the end.
Good luck, Jake.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Jake Sheridan, guys, your Epic Raceway Fast Time Award winner here at Flamboro.
What a mature Jake Sheridan we just heard in that interview. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back on Racing America for the TQ Midgets.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway, where the track is filling up with Can-Am TQ Midgets. Kevin Small, tell us the starting lineup.
Can-Am TQ Midgets presented by Miller Office Trailers, ready to go for their 30-lap feature event. Here's how they're going to line up. 53 of Roberto Palillo out of St. Catharines in the Got-Skill number 53 machine will roll off on the pole. Starting second out of Orangeville in the MCI Automotion and Controls, number 84, it's Richard Woodland. Rolling off third out of Atwood in the B&K Tire and Battery, number 43, it's Tyler Cullen. Starting fourth, the number 13 machine out of Woodstock in the Jim Williamson Construction number 13 machine, it's Jaden Riddell. Rolling off in the sixth spot, in the fifth position, out of Elmira in the Racine Racing number 05, it's Adam Racine. Rolling off sixth out of Dundas in the Flamboro Machine Shop, number 78, it's Darren McLennan. Rolling seventh out of Orangeville in the Southfield Farms, number 57, it's James Stanley. And starting eighth out of Hillsdale in the Hahn Motorsports Chassis Works, number 42, it's Daniel Hahn. We'll get the rest of the lineup in just a second. Fans, grab your hat, grab your hands, wave these Can-Am Midgets off as they set to go 30 lap for you. They do the 4-wide salute coming to you here at Flamboro Speedway. Four-wide salute here for you, the fans. They are ready to go for a fantastic 30-lap feature event. We'll get the rest of the lineup here. Starting in 9th at a Newmarket in the Beatty's Distilleries, number 7, it's Jeff Blackburn. Rolling off 10th out of Toronto in the Larry's Engines, number 24, it's Jody Bound. Starting 11th out of Bellwood in the Short Reed Auto Center, number 74X, it's Sherry Hogan. Starting 12th out of Georgetown in the Maple View Tire, number 5 machine, it's Andrew Whelan. Starting 13th out of Guelph in the Westwood Speed Shop, it's the number 8 of Mike Westwood. Starting in the 14th spot at a Shelburne in the BW Towing, number 42X, it's Larry Lawson. 15th at a Dundas in the Connell's Construction, number 96, it's Alex Connell. 16th at a Brantford in the One Stop Lube Ecotech, number 55, it's Cam Thompson. And going shotgun on the field, if he can make the call, at a Tilsonburg in the JDL Distributing Cedar Spring Water Haulage, number 49, it's Ryan Frazier. So these Can-Am TQ Midgets getting a little heat in the tires here before we set to go for 30 laps. The caution flag's going to come back out. They're going to get the field doubled up, and we're ready to go open wheel racing for 30 laps for the Can-Am TQ Midgets, presented by Miller Office Trailers. They always put on a fantastic show here at Flamboro Speedway. One of the bull rings on the schedule. It's almost like putting a fighter jet in a fishbowl, as some will say. So we're going to get set to go for 30 laps. Coming up next, Roberto Palillo and Richard Woodland going to lead the field to green.
Such a popular touring series are the Can-Am Midgets, the white flag being displayed. So next time at a turn number 4, we'll go green.
Field gets doubled up here as they come off at turn number 2. Roberto Palillo in the 84 of Richard Woodland, Tyler Cullen and Jaden Riddell, Adam Racine and Darren McLennan, James Stanley, Daniel Hahn, Jeff Blackburn, Jody Bound, your top 10 as we get set to go for 30 laps as they come off of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. We're underway for the Can-Am TQ Midgets. Tyler Cullen with a big move down to the inside on corner number 1. They're 3, almost 4 wide on the exit of turn number 2.
What a battle here in this opening lap. Couple of lead changes. We got one spinning out deeper in the field. That is going to force us to go yellow. Adam Racine had jumped into the lead. I'm not sure if he's going to have to give that back or not. We'll let the officials sort out the starting lineup.
That was a really, really entertaining lap number 1. They were 3, 4 wide coming off of turn number 2. They barreled down into 3 and 4, and Jody Bound, the 24 machine, end up on the losing end of that one. Going to go around on the exit of turn number 4. Looks like that machine's clean back up and ready to go here once again. So the timing and scoring is going to sort this one out before we get going. I think not sure if they got a whole lap in, so I think we're probably going to get a full field restart here. So the field's going to sort this one out. We can take a look on the replay there coming off of turn number 4. You just see right in the middle there that 24 of Jody Bound going around right on the exit of turn number 4. So the timing scoring is going to get this one sorted out. Single file here as we get the lineups in. Again, the Can-Am TQ Midgets celebrating their 60th season here as well. They had a round 1 a couple weekends ago. The number 7 of Jeff Blackburn ended up in victory lane. So keep an eye on that Beatty's Distillery number 7 machine trying to come through the field here in this one. Mired back in almost, I think, about that 10th position. So keep an eye on that number 7 machine as we got 30 laps of distance here for the Can-Am TQ Midgets presented by Miller Mobile Offices. The white flag is going to come out. We're going to get set to go again. So it doesn't look like we got a lap in. So 30 laps going to be the distance. As the field's going to re-rack here as we head down into 1 and 2. The field's going to get doubled up. I want to give it a shout out to the 55 tonight being piloted by Cam Thompson, usually in our Pure stock. So good to see him getting a chance behind a TQ Midget. As the field gets set to go, they're going to come off of turn 4. Roberto Palillo is going to see the green flag, and we're back underway once again. This time a little bit nicer start for that 53 machine. Tyler Cullen going to look to the inside. Richard Woodland in that 84 gets shuffled into the middle. He's going to go back almost to the 8th position as they head down into 3 and 4 for the first time.
Look at them charge down into the corners. More changes in the running order. And they're not done yet. Darren McLennan not going to let Jaden Riddell lead the race for long. Riddell led the race for about 200 feet.
McLennan takes that top spot away, slides the 13 of Jaden Riddell back to second. Third is going to be the 42 of Daniel Hahn, your championship 1 year ago. So keep an eye on that black number 42 machine as the top 3 drivers start to separate themselves out. Then a big move for the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. He looks to the inside off the exit of turn number 4.
Jeff Blackburn trying to race his way into the top 5. He'll do so, clearing Palillo. Now he'll set his sights on Adam Racine as Hahn having a look for that 2nd position.
Hahn looking to the inside on the 13 of Jade Riddell. He thinks a little bit better of it, slides back behind that number 13 machine. Hahn going to take another peek down to the inside, really trying to grip up on the bottom side of this 3rd mile Flamboro Speedway, but no dice. Riddell holding that top spot away, but this time side by side off the exit of turn number 4. Real close wheel-to-wheel action. Riddell holds onto that 2nd spot for now, but Hahn wants it off of turn number 2.
Blackburn picking up another position, move him up to that 4th spot. Riddell not giving up. Hahn giving him that racing room on the high side. They race wheel to wheel off of turn 4.
The person in the catbird seat, that 78 of Darren McLennan, he is smiling ear to ear, seeing those guys go side by side behind them. Hahn's going to prevail and take that 2nd spot away. Now the 13 of Jaden Riddell is going to follow into the clutches of the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. This time off of turn 4, Darren McLennan sees lap number 7 go up on the board.
Darren McLennan with a lot of feature wins to his credit, leading the way out here. You can see there's not a lot of traffic coming up ahead of him, but what he doesn't see is the 42 of Hahn closing that gap. It was 0.7 seconds last time. He was 0.2 of a second faster this lap.
A little bit further behind those top 2, the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. He's going to look to the inside on the 13 of Jaden Riddell. That's the battle for 3rd spot. Blackburn thinks a little bit better of it. He's going to slide right back in behind, but this time Blackburn looked into the inside off of corner number 2. Riddell's going to take that top side, and unfortunately Blackburn's going to take that spot away. Move the 7 of Jeff Blackburn now up to 3rd. He's going to set his sights for the top 2 as he got a little bit of lap traffic. The 42 machine of Larry Lawson Leaders work their way around them, but the battle continues to heat up at the front of the field.
Darren McLennan almost had catastrophe trying to get around Larry Lawson in turn number 1. It allowed Hahn to close right in on our race leader.
McLennan still pacing the way as the rest of the field try to sort themselves out. Single file here as the leaders continue to click off laps. 11 laps in the books here, this 30-lap feature event. Darren McLennan still out front, but Daniel Hahn has closed to within about a car length and a half as the leaders try to work around that 24 of Jordy Bound. Hahn's going to take a look to the inside off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Jody Bound with problems in that 24, slow on the apron of the track. He'll turn down into the infield. Hahn has a look to the inside of a turn 4, tucks back in line down the front straightaway.
That's a really good battle. Continue to heat up here as Hahn trying to see if maybe he can make a move. Now the 96 of Alex Connell is going to be down to the inside. Hahn maybe using that a little bit of as a pick, but McLennan holding that middle line right in the middle of this third mile racing automobile. And they see the 55 of Cam Thompson is going to bring that car down to the infield as well. The battle for the race lead continues to heat up. This time halfway home, halfway to go for the 78 of Darren McLennan.
It is soon going to be a 3-car battle at the front as Hahn dives to the inside in turn number 3. They'll race side by side for the lead.
Daniel Hahn on the bottom, Darren McLennan on the top. New race leader will be the 42 of Daniel Hahn as he clears the 78 off of turn number 2. He's going to try to put that 42 car in the win because he's got a hungry customer behind him. That 7 of Jeff Blackburn has joined the mix here as well on lap number 17.
Hahn out in front. Again, knows he just passed the race leader, has no idea where Jeff Blackburn is behind him. There's no rear view mirrors on these race cars. There's no spotters on the radio.
Those two drivers have really been duking it out here this season and last season as well. They had a lot of wheel-to-wheel battles. Just ahead of them, the 74 of Sherry Hogan trying to find a way around the 42 of Larry Lawson. That's going to allow Andrew Whelan to get in the mix there as well. This is all happening right in front of the leaders here as we close in on 10 to go. Daniel Hahn has stretched that lead out to about 4 to 5 car lengths over that 78 of Darren McLennan.
Hogan tried the inside of Larry Lawson. Now to the outside she goes, drives it deep down into turn number 1. She clears the slower car, so does Andrew Whelan.
That's a big battle going on right in front of the leaders as Whelan is knocking on the back bumper of that 74X of Sherry Hogan. They work around the 96 of Alex Connell, but it's going to be really tight racing quarters as they come off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Hahn taking a look to the inside now on Andrew Whelan. There is lap traffic in the mix. Could be a bit of a problem for the leaders as they come underneath the stripe.
Andrew Whelan also putting out a little bit of smoke from that 5 machine, and that's got to make these leaders nervous as they approach.
Battle for second now starts to heat up as Jeff Blackburn looking to the inside on that 78 of Darren McLennan. Side by side for that second spot. Looks like the black flag was shown to the 5 of Andrew Whelan. He's going to bring that machine to the garage area, but second spot is up for grabs, and Jeff Blackburn takes it. Move to 7 machine, the Beatty's Distillery number 7 up to second spot. Darren McLennan going to slide back into third as we click off lap 6 to go in this one.
Got a long way to go and a short time to get there, does Jeff Blackburn. 2.24 seconds the gap last time at the stripe. Let's see if it's any closer this time.
Hahn still out in front, but Jeff Blackburn still trying to see if he's trying to actually just pull away from that 78 of McLennan as McLennan stayed within a car length of that 7 machine off of turn number 2 that time by. Daniel Hahn's got about a half straightaway lead as we continue to work under this green flag. Hahn out in the win here with 4 laps to go. Blackburn now slowly pulling away from that 78 of McLennan as we continue to click laps this time. We're going to see 3 to go for the 42 of Daniel Hahn.
Yeah, Hahn has a great handling number 42 as he works through 1 and 2. Whoa, trouble down in 3 and 4. We got cars all over the racetrack. Everybody was able to sort themselves out. We got one slow on the back straightaway at the same time.
Looks like that's the 49 of Ryan Frazier. He's going to pull that machine down to the infield, stay under the green flag. 2 to go in this one. The action heats up there with the 53 of Roberto Palillo and the 43 of Tyler Cullen. Those two drivers duking it out, but at the front of the field, Daniel Hahn's going to see the white flag go up in the air.
One more time around for Hahn. He works through 1 and 2. Nobody out in front that he's got to deal with for this final half lap.
Hahn into 3 and 4 for the final time, and off a turn 4, the checkered flag's gonna fly. Daniel Hahn picks up the feature win. Jeff Blackburn holds on to second. Third, the 78 of Darren McLennan. Coming home fourth is the 13 of Jaden Riddell, and rounding out that top 5, the 05 of Adam Racine.
Good racing with the TQ midgets. There was some attrition, a bunch of cars parked down there on the inside of 3 and 4 that'll make their way back to the pits, but Clinton Jeffrey is going to greet our winners down in victory lane.
Daniel Hahn's going to be happy about this one. He wasn't so happy about finishing second a couple weekends ago, and now he's going to take the top spot away. I'm sure there's smiles all around that 42 machine.
Taking a moment to reflect or look on his tachometer there, Clint.
We'll get to the bottom of that. Daniel Hahn, no stranger to victory lane here with the Can-Am TQ midgets, or here at Flamboro in general. He gets the wheel off. He'll work on getting all his safety gear out, and we'll get him out here and get a quick word with him in just a moment's time. Also, Jeff Blackburn, Darren McLennan down here. We'll talk to them quickly as well. Hahn works his way over to the backside. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for your winner? Daniel Hahn gets it done here today. A lot of work goes into these machines, as they are very purpose-built. You know, you can't buy a lot of this stuff off the shelf, that's for sure, but they've done a great job building these gorgeous cars. We'll get in here and get a word with Daniel Hahn. Dan, another time we get to talk to you down here in victory lane. Now, another solid day here. You had the field covered again. You got to be really happy with how your night went.
Yeah, it couldn't go any better. I think we hit a new track record here. I haven't seen anything faster than a 15.0, and it's funny, these guys come with full armies, and we just got myself, James has himself, and I don't know, man, I'm stoked. I want to thank Flamboro Machine Shop. Without Darren and his family, man, I wouldn't be where I am, and Knits by Brits, Nick and Nora Racing, Tire Depot. I want to thank the Can-Am Midgets, Knits by Brits, FCR, Hahn Welding, Hahn Motorsports, and you guys for helping us out. So thanks, guys.
Adam, wonder what you were looking at in the dash there when you stopped.
Yeah, we got a computer in there. It tells like lateral Gs and lap time, and you can run through and watch your entire lap. It's a lot more than just getting in it and turning left and getting a bunch of guys to work on your car. You actually got to do some work for once.
Right on. Daniel Hahn picks up the win, guys. We'll get over here and talk to second, Jeff Blackburn. Jeff, a solid run for you today. Obviously, you'd like to be one step higher on the podium, but anytime you can put your car back in the trailer, in one piece is good. Second, anytime you get to talk to us after the race is good.
Yeah, number one is obviously coming back in one piece. The next thing's to win, but second place isn't bad. We started pretty back in the field today, 9th. The first start was phenomenal, and then they called it back as the caution, which sucks. But after that second start, we kind of worked our way through. It's tough, like when there's no cautions, because once like the first few fast guys get to the lead, just kind of like follow the leader. Like we're all kind of the same speed. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good car. I just ran out of laps. I don't think I would have caught Dan. We were kind of the same. I needed a caution, but it is what it is. But I had fun. So.
Good job, Jeff. We'll jump over here with Darren McLennan. Darren, solid run for you. You know, obviously, former champ in this division. You'd like to be winning all these races, but not bad for you today.
Yeah, I'm pooched. Ran the sprint car last night, and the midget. We went to 30 laps this year, and that was good for 25, and fell off of then. But all in all, a good night. Daniel was in his own time zone, yeah, we're happy with tonight.
You guys make it look so easy, so maybe tell the fans, these cars are hard to maneuver. Those extra 5 laps are hard on the arms, right?
They are. They're it's tiring, and you're on the edge every lap, and you just try to settle in for a little bit. I mean, it's nothing like the 150 laps the late models run, but yeah, it's for how little they are. They do take a lot to wheel them, and especially my scrawny arms. So.
Right on, Darren. Darren McLennan will be third. Jeff Blackburn second. Your winner, Daniel Hahn, will wrap up the Can-Am Midgets portion of the night's program. We'll be right back live here in Racing America as we're celebrating the APC events. Pure stock still to come, guys.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordia Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8 mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordeleMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today. Welcome to the home of all race fans, Racing America, live short track racing.
Looking for the green flag, and the Snowball Derby is underway.
Exclusive NASCAR Cup team content.
Enjoy competing with your teammates.
You already know.
Behind the scenes access.
Great car, puts on a great show. I'm excited about it.
Claim your front row seat to watch the excitement.
Mission accomplished.
And drama.
Car lifts up in the air.
From grassroots to NASCAR. Join us at the home for race fans everywhere.
You're watching Racing America right here on Racing America.
Racing America. It's in our DNA. Calling all race fans. We have launched a new travel site where the race fans can enjoy free savings and upgrades on all of their travel needs. RacerTravel.com is free to join and unlocks unpublished bookings and rates for our racing community. Up to 50% off on more than 1 million rooms across the U.S. and Canada with unpublished discounts on hotel bookings. Unlock a hidden selection of hotels and rates that cater to your travel preferences. Whether you're heading out to the track as a competitor, fan, or anything in between, use Racer Travel for all your race, business, and vacation travel needs.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. It's time to go pure stock racing. This is their second feature event of the night. Kevin Small going to tell us how they line up.
Here we go for the second 25-lap feature event for Hogan Law, McClurkin Properties of Cambridge Pure Stocks. On the pole out of London, the BT Racing number 22P, it's Gary Triska. Rolling off second out of Caledonia in the Graphic Design Studio, number 37, it's Rachel Mitchell. Rolling off third out of Ancaster in the McTier Water, number 73, it's Rick Mitchell. Rolling off in the fourth position out of Waterdown in the Pug, number 40, it's Mark Allen. Starting fifth out of Hamilton in the B&B Motorsports, number 42, it's Leo LaBarbera. Rolling off in the sixth spot out of Caledonia in the Double Trouble Racing, number 12, it's Chance Rogers. Starting in seventh out of Troy, the Blue Streak Contracting, number 7, it's Matt Young. Rolling off in the eighth position out of Ancaster in the McTier Water, number 3, it's our points leader, the 3 of Chase Mitchell. Rolling off ninth, the driver in second in points out of Caledonia in the Zanata Postal Digging, number 17 machine, it's Spencer Riddell. And rolling off in the 10th spot, the 55 car out of Woodstock in the Interface Testing Services, 55, it's Dan Story. Starting in the 11th position, out of Brantford in the B-Square Decals number 85, it's Cam Thompson. Rolling off in the 12th spot, out of Burlington in the BT Racing Stickers and Scuff number 47, it's Mac Ingram. Starting 13th, your Feature 1 winner out of Hamilton, the Blue Street Contracting number 38, it's John Cote. Starting in the 14th position, out of London in the BT Racing number 22, it's Chris Lawrence. Starting 15th position, out of Tilsonburg, the Tirecraft number 93, it's Rice Meyer. Starting 16th to the outside, the one machine out of St. Thomas, the Coldwell Banker number 1, it's Len Starrett. Starting 17th spot, the 42K out of Rockton, the Driving with Haley number 42K, it's Tegan Ellis. Starting 18th, the 28 out of Paris in the Driving with Haley 28, it's Haley Hill. Starting 19th, the 79 machine out of Cambridge, the Dean Lane Contractors number 79, it's Caroline Kelly. To the outside, the 97 machine out of Ancaster in the McTier Water number 97, it's Megan Mitchell. And rolling off shotgun on the field out of Hamilton, the Mountain Tires number 53 machine, it's Owen Brooker. Set to go for 25 laps here for the Pure Stocks at Flamboro Speedway. The always entertaining Pure Stock division. Hogan Law McClurkin Properties of Cambridge, they're going to get set to go for 25 laps. Gary Triska and Rachel Mitchell going to lead the field to the green. The lights are off on our vintage Flamboro Speedway pace car. We get set to turn them loose for 25 laps. They went green to checkered a little bit early on here tonight, so we're going to see what we can do here again. The Flamboro Speedway pace car makes that hard left-hand turn, pulling down to the infield. We're set to go for the Pure Stock portion of the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. The 22P of Gary Triska, the 37 of Rachel Mitchell, going to come off turn 4. Green flag is in the air. We're underway for the Pure Stocks. Gary Triska gets a good jump in that 22P. Rachel Mitchell as well. Top 3 actually kind of sort themselves out. They're almost 3 wide behind them. Matt Young was looking into the middle of the 17 of Spencer Riddell and that 3 of Chase Mitchell. The drivers trying to sort themselves out, but lap 1 will go to Gary Triska, but they're 2 by 2 for 4 rows deep in the middle pack.
Chase Mitchell, the points leader in this class, working the outside, gets around Leo LaBarbera. Trying to follow Chase Rogers down into 3 and 4, pick up that 5th position.
Chase Mitchell going to do that as well. He's going to try to bring the 55 of Dan Story and the 17 of Spencer Riddell along with them as well. Riddell way to the outside off turn number 2. He's going to try to give that run down the back straightaway to the outside of the 40 of Mark Allen. Riddell trying to battle around. He's had a couple tough weeks, so good to see the 17 back out running well, but he's on that outside line, the non-preferred line here at Flamboro Speedway. He's trying to see if he can go the long way around, and he will. He's going to clear that 40 of Mark Allen off of turn number 2. The action is intense all throughout the pack as the drivers are 2 by 2 all the way through the field. Gary Triska has a half straightaway lead at the front of the field.
Yeah, Triska has checked out from the drop of the green flag, but here comes Chance Rogers in that 12 machine working on the 2nd spot up on the outside. It's a 5-car battle there, racing for the 2nd spot. It's about to be more as Spencer Riddell and Matt Young close that gap.
Couple of drivers trying to go the long way around here. Rachel Mitchell holding that bottom line. Same with the 73 of Rick Mitchell. Dan Story and Chase Rogers, there's going to clean those 2 machines away. Chance Rogers now up to 2nd. 3rd, the 55 of Dan Story. The battle for 4th heats up. Rachel Mitchell on the bottom, but Chase Mitchell, it's a brother and sister battle. Mitchell's going to take that spot away. Now Riddell in the 17 is going to try to come through as well. They are still away 2, couple rows deep out there in the field. They are bumper to bumper. Cam Thompson, Race Meyer, Chris Lawrence, they are duking it out at further in the field.
Some great battles at the front, great battles in the middle. They're 3 wide down into turn number 3 deep in the pack. The race continues for 2nd. Story, it looked like Chance Rogers was going to work around the Story number 55, but Story's been able to put up a fight.
You can see the drone cam there, some action shots as they head down into 3 and 4. Dan Story on the bottom, Chance Rogers on the top. Chase Mitchell's going to join that battle as well. Story trying to hold on to that 2nd spot, but Chance Rogers using the long way around. Chase Mitchell, Spencer Riddell going to be in there as well. They're 2 by 2 for 2 rows deep as they head into 3 and 4.
Chase Mitchell has places to go. I think he's a little bit faster. Both he and Riddell are a little bit faster than Story. And Rogers ahead of them, but there's just nowhere for them to go.
You can see a little bit further behind that group, the 7 of Matt Young and the 73 of Rick Mitchell. They are banging bumpers coming off of turn number 2. Mitchell and Young. Young is shoving the 73 of Rick Mitchell all the way into 3 and 4. He had Mitchell all jacked up coming off of turn 4 last time around. You can see the waved up black flag getting a warning to the drivers. Mitchell trying to hold that bottom, but there is racing all throughout the field here, and this is typical with the Pure Stocks at Flamboro.
Story has actually cleared Chance Rogers in that number 12, so move Story up to the 2nd spot. More than a straightaway behind our race leader, Triska.
Gary Triska has checked out as the rest of the field try to funnel by. 17 of Spencer Riddell a little bit deep into 1 and 2, shoved the 12 of Chance Rogers up the racetrack, but moved that 17 now into that 3rd and final podium position. He's going to drag that 3 of Chase Mitchell along with them. The drivers start to sort themselves out here as we continue to work under the green flag. 12 laps into this 25-lap feature event. Gary Triska now getting into a little bit of lap traffic. As this time by, he's going to see the cross flags from our starter, Sean Gibbs. Halfway home, halfway to go in this one.
Gary Triska about to be in heavy lap traffic, probably in about 2 laps from now. Triska works down into turn number 3, but the battle on the track, the best battle, is for that 3rd spot. Story has kind of pulled away in the 55 and left Spencer Riddell in the 17 to battle with Chase Mitchell in the 3 and Chance Rogers in the 12.
Just a little bit behind them there was the 85 of Cam Thompson. He was jacked all the way up in 3 and 4. He got into the little bit of a bumper tag there with Chris Lawrence and Rick Mitchell. That battle continues to rage on as they rage on ahead of them too. Chase Mitchell trying to find a way to get around that 17 of Spencer Riddell. Riddell this time going to stay up a little bit higher. We'll see if Mitchell maybe takes a peek to the inside. But Riddell able to hold on to that line for the time being. We stay under that green flag as they continue to work around this 3rd mile Flamboro Speedway. Gary Triska is all but checked out as he works through some of the lap traffic, but that battle for 3rd continues to work back into turns 1 and 2.
Really good racing for that 3rd spot. Spencer Riddell has it. Chase Mitchell wants it. They'll have to catch up to that slower traffic with less than 9 laps to go. I'm not sure if they're going to get to that pack of cars up ahead, but it sure would get interesting if they do. Gary Triska has about half a dozen cars between himself and 2nd place Story.
Story's kind of checked out on that battle for 3rd, but Spencer Riddell and the 3 of Chase Mitchell, they're duking it out. This is going to allow the 12 of Chance Rogers to close that gap there as well. But you can see with our drone shot just how close these drivers are coming off of turns 1 and 2, back into 1 and 2, a little bit further back. The 73 of Rick Mitchell, the 85 of Cam Thompson, the 22 of Chris Lawrence. They have been beating and banging for about 3 to 4 laps now.
That's just good pure stock racing back there, using the bumpers on these cars. They're more than just decoration. Still, the battle rages on for the 3rd spot. Spencer Riddell has that spot. Chase Mitchell, half a car length off the back bumper of that number 17. Now we got a couple of cars that are well off the pace, sort of coasting around the inside of the racetrack. That makes things interesting as well.
Leaders continue to work around that lap traffic. 5 to go in this one. Gary Triska has totally checked out in this one. He's the last driver that's going to want to see a yellow flag fly as Triska continues to work around. That's that 42 of Leo LaBarbera and the 1 of Len Starrett. Triska has about a straightaway lead over the 2nd spot of Dan Story. That battle continues to go on for that 3rd spot. Spencer Riddell and the 3 of Chase Mitchell a little bit behind them. The 7 of Matt Young gets around the 12 of Chance Rogers. Now Rogers is going to be on the outside of the 47 of Mac Ingram as they head into 3 and 4.
3 wide around some slower traffic through 3 and 4. That doesn't bother Ingram. Ingram picks up that spot now right behind the Matt Young number 7 as we look back. The Chase Mitchell been trying the last 10, 12 laps to make a move on Spencer Riddell on that 17, but they are very evenly matched.
Those 2 drivers have been duking it out this season here at Flamboro Speedway, 1 and 2 in points, and they continue to duke it out on the racetrack. 2 laps to go in this one. Mitchell's going to try to see if he can make a move. This time off of turn number 2. He might poke that number 3 machine's nose down to the inside. But no dice. Riddell shuts the door once again. White flagged in the air. Gary Triska's got 1 more lap to hold on to this one.
Triska with the position out in front. Nothing between him and victory. We got 1 off the pace down into turn number 1. Gets off the track.
Off of turn 4, the checkered flag's going to fly. Gary Triska picks up the pure stock win. Coming home in 2nd is going to be the 55 of Dan Story, and hanging on to that 3rd and final podium spot, the 17 of Spencer Riddell. 4th will be the 3 of Chase Mitchell, and rounding out the top 5, the 7 of Matt Young. Oh boy, how about that one?
Couple of good feature events between the TQ Midgets and the Pure Stocks.
Pure Stocks never seem to disappoint here at Flamboro Speedway. They always put on a fantastic show, a full field of cars, and Gary Triska in that BT Racing number 22 stickers and scuffs. Number 22P is going to bring that machine into victory lane. It's going to be a great. Those guys know how to have some fun down there in the BT Racing pit area.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong about that.
Triska's going to bring that 22P down into victory lane. And they're going to let the celebration begin there. I can see Chris Lawrence running over there as well. It's going to be a fun time there down in the pit area. And I think Clinton Jeffries is down in victory lane.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. We'll get ready to talk to Gary Triska down here. Dan Story and Spencer Riddell, the top three, as they roll in here. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? How about some noise for Gary Triska? And as you know, the BT Racing boys, they have to climb the fence, says Chris. And they're already over there getting it done. Chris Lawrence, as you know, has a field of cars out here that he works with and gets a lot of different drivers behind the wheels. So always a good win when you can get Chris over there. Come on over here, Gary. Gary, want to drive today? That's pretty cool. You can get it done. Driving one of Chris's cars. What does it mean to be in victory lane here at Flamboro tonight?
Oh, it's awesome to be back in one of BT Racing cars here, back in victory lane again. So it's the first time we brought this one out. Been playing with it for the last couple of weeks, but I think we got it figured out now.
Certainly looks good.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to thank tonight?
BT Racing, Corey's Tire and Auto Fusion Towing, Dynamic Fluids, my wife, my kids, Deegan and Nova, so and everybody that helps me out during the season.
Right on, Gary Triska, your winner here in the Pure Stocks. We'll get over and talk to Dan Story. Dan, solid drive here. Great car count today for the Pure Stocks. Anytime you get up in second, not a bad day.
Nope, fourth and a second, pretty good.
That's awesome. The heat play into the factor at all for you guys tonight?
A little bit. It was hot before the race, sitting in the car waiting.
Now you get to cool off, enjoy.
Yes.
Dan Story second. We went over here and talked to Spencer Riddell. Spencer, you know, you've been around here forever, man. I remember when you used to work in the tower. Now you're a race car driver. Tell us about your night, Spencer. Things look pretty good from here, but they just got away from you. Couldn't quite get them back.
Yeah, we're losing power. We changed spark plugs after the first feature. I noticed that after halfway mark, we just kind of lost power. So it looks like we lost power again, so that wasn't the problem.
Still managed to grab third.
For sure, that's a good point tonight for us. We gained a little bit, so we've had a rough go the last couple weeks, so this was a good turnaround.
Right on. Spencer Riddell will be third. Dan Story second. Your winner, Gary Triska, wins the Pure Stock edition here of the night. We'll be right back live racing on Racing America here from Flamboro Speedway.
The MyRacePass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the MyRacePass app today in Google Play and the App Store. MyRacePass, the ultimate racing resource.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Step into the fast lane with the Race of Champions Modified Series, only on RacingAmerica.tv. The best drivers, the wildest races, and non-stop action are here, bringing the heat to short tracks all through New York and the Northeast. From nail-biting finishes to fierce rivalries, this is modified racing at its best. Don't miss a minute of the excitement. Watch the Race of Champions family of series all year long, only on Racing America.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordia Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8 mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordeleMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today. Welcome to the home of all race fans, Racing America, live short track racing.
Looking for the green flag, and the Snowball Derby is underway.
Exclusive NASCAR Cup team content.
Enjoy competing with your teammates.
You already know.
Behind the scenes access.
Great car, puts on a great show. I'm excited for that.
Claim your front row seat to watch the excitement.
Mission accomplished.
And drama.
Car lifts up in the air.
From grassroots to NASCAR. Join us at the home for race fans everywhere.
You're watching Racing America right here on Racing America.
Racing America. It's in our DNA.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. The cars being called to the front straightaway for an autograph session. So they will line up in the order they're going to start this race tonight. The fans will be allowed out onto the front straightaway. And while we're doing that, Clinton Jeffrey will be able to talk to some of the drivers who are going to compete in tonight's GRISDALE Racing Products 150. While we've got a moment, let's check in on some interviews that were done just before the season where we got to talk to some of the drivers and see what they had planned for 2025. And we'll start with the winner of the opening round of the APC season 2025, Josh Stoddy. So Josh, the APC series, you've had a pretty decent run of top 5 finishes in the point standings, but not yet at the top of the chart. What do you need to do to get there?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like last year we were really prepared, and then first race we blew a rear end, we blew an ignition box in practice. There was just 2 unforeseen things that you as a racer, and me, like I'm a maintenance freak, so stuff that we didn't really expect, and it's a long way to claw back from dead last. We literally started 15 laps in, blew the rear end, and it's a long way to claw yourself back from dead last in points and then try to make your way back up. So I mean, obviously consistency, I think, is going to be key, especially when you have a 10 race. It's a short series, and I feel like you can't afford DNFs and bad finishes. You got to be as consistent as you can.
Last summer, you went and ran the IWK 250 in Nova Scotia. Was that a bucket list thing, or is that something you want to try to do every year?
It was a bucket list thing that I think has turned into something that I'd like to do every year if the timing's right. I think we've done everything that there was in Ontario that they had to offer, and I just wanted to start trying new tracks, and we also branched out to Nashville twice and had a blast there. If the funds are there and the timing's right and we can do it again, we'd do it in a heartbeat.
Going to places like that, Nova Scotia, Nashville, does it make you appreciate more what we have at home, or does it make you wish we could kind of emulate some of the things that they do?
I really appreciate what we do back home. I mean, I was talking to Clinton earlier, just even you guys in the broadcast. I mean, second to none with G-Force. obviously with the series, you know who you're racing against every week. These are guys that we race every weekend against each other, so you know what their style of driving is going to be like. When you go to IWK, you're racing against 30 new cars, and you don't know if that guy is going to chop you or give you room or what. So you're learning a lot of stuff as you go. So, but I do appreciate the racing that we have to offer. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that everything's got it going for it right now.
No, it's well said. What will make you happy this year?
I try to, once a year, I just want to win one race a year, at least. I mean, I know that these races are hard to come by. I know there's a lot of guys out there that work very hard on their equipment, and we have a lot of really talented drivers. So my kind of goal every year is if I can win one feature a summer, I'm happy with that. I mean, obviously, the more the merrier. If you could win a championship, that's even great. But I just want to win races and capture those moments with the people that help me and my family and my friends, and log that memory and put it on the wall.
Do you hope the next generation of Stoddy will want to get behind the wheel, or are you kind of hoping they'll want a set of golf clubs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those parents. I got 2 kids, 7 and 3, and I got a little guy and a little girl. And obviously, as a racer, you'd love them to be in racing, but I'm not going to push it on them. If it's something that they don't want to do, I'm okay with that. But I also have 3 nephews too. So if something happens that one of my kids don't want to jump in the seat and do it, and one of my nephews do, I'll definitely gladly help them along with that.
So you see the Stoddy family probably staying in racing for a little while.
I sure hope so, but like I said, if they decide that they want to swing clubs, there's probably more money in golfing than there is racing, so push that too.
Yeah, it's great to get the opportunity to talk to these drivers away from the racetrack on race day. Racers are different. They're focused. They're hyper-focused. If anything is going wrong with the race car, it's very difficult to chat with them and get some good in-depth conversation. Clinton, Jeffrey, what have you got going on down there?
Kyle, what'd you do?
Well,
We built some hero cards.
Cars were on the roof there, and I didn't realize that, and I was just coming in here. We're about to get hit by Sean, but they went flying everywhere, made a bit of a scene, but it's all good.
I think Kyle was just spreading them out because he knows all the fans are coming down here now, and they could just pick them up and self-serve. But yeah, we did lose a box of hero cards, but we got them all back. So we're all right.
Yeah, that's a lot of effort. That's a lot of strain. Like you and I, Clinton, just bending over once would put us down for the night.
Let's give Kyle a real interview. Kyle, how you feeling today? Heat's up here. First time in Ontario. We kind of turn the weather on now. This is what you're going to have to face the rest of the season. How do you feel about your 22 car going into tonight, starting right up here near the front?
Yeah, it feels really good. We've been fast all day. We've put a lot of work into the Sport City race car, and excited to do 150 laps here tonight with our APC car. So it should be good. I think it's going to be a good race for the fans, and hopefully we can stay up front here and just have a battle till the end.
You cut your teeth in mini stock here. You got your first APC win here. You know, is it a place you love or a place you just kind of get through?
Yeah, I love it here. This is like my home track for sure. So every time I get to come out here is definitely special, and we always show a lot of speed. So looking forward to it, and happy to be back here with the APC Auto Parts Center's car and the APC series with GRISDALE Racing sponsoring the event. So it should be a lot of fun here, and starting outside Cole, he's been good all year with Jake right behind him. So I think the 3 of us are going to put on a show and have a lot of fun.
Kyle, let's talk quickly about outside the APC series. What you got going on in the States? What can the fans look forward to with you coming up, and any races you're looking forward to coming up?
Yeah, next weekend we've got a Wisconsin doubleheader with the ASA Stars Tour down in the U.S. there with the Rhett Jones group. So looking forward to that. We're racing Madison Friday night and Slinger Speedway on Sunday. So 2 cool, really tracks, and looking forward to that. And just all the ASA Stars National Tour races are a big deal. Every race is special in its own way, and really cool to be a part of all those races.
Thanks for your time here, Kyle. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckley, guys, and we'll jump over here and talk to Cole Quinton, too. Cole is starting on the pole position tonight, Cole. You know, you've had a lot of good runs. We've seen you put this program together. Do you feel like tonight may be the night you can get something special done here at home?
I have no idea. I guess we'll see what happens. We're just going to do our thing. The team's done an amazing job. I can't thank all the boys enough, all the supporters here. It's the Sick Kids Foundation 150th birthday today, which is really special. So everybody come buy some shirts. We got shirts, 100% of the proceeds going to the Sick Kids Foundation. So we'll be doing that all year. But it's a special day regardless, and this is definitely a good view. So we'll try to stay up here and just see how the race goes.
So 150 laps, how does that change your game plan today? Is it a hustle and try and just lead all 150? Do you have to ride and know these guys are going to get away from you and you'll come back? Do you have a game plan?
I don't know. I think if you're good, you're good, and I think it's keeping the track position is important. Everybody knows this place. If you get back into the hornet's nest, it's trouble. So we'll try to keep up front and just see what happens. But just super thankful to be here. Can't thank God enough for putting an amazing group of people in my life, allowing me to do this, and we'll just see what result we get.
Good luck, Cole.
Thank you.
Cole Quinton will roll from the pole here today, guys. We'll send it up to you for a minute, and then we'll jump back in here in a moment, guys.
Yeah, we're going to keep Clinton Jeffrey busy for a few minutes. But while we've got the time, let's have a look at the upcoming events calendar here at Flamboro Speedway. We are still in the early stages of what is a very busy summer. June 14th, the Don Biederman Memorial and Cruise Night. Ontario Outlaw Super Late Models, Canadian Vintage Modifieds, Mini Stocks, and Pure Stocks. Then on June 21st, it's Meet the Drivers Night. Steel City Rumble Series Super Stocks, Pro Late Models, Mini Stocks, Pure Stocks, the Soma Pro 4 Modifieds on the card for June 21st. On June 28th, the Ontario Modifieds, the Canadian Vintage Modifieds, the Mini Stocks, Pure Stocks, and Soma Pro 4 Modifieds, plus Spectator Drags. And on July 5th, Steel City Rumble Series Super Stocks, once again, Pro Late Models, Ontario Pro Challenge, Mini Stocks, and Pure Stocks. Visit FlamboroSpeedway.ca for more information. Clint, who have you caught up with?
Well, I'm just going to jump in here with Joe Lawrence. He doesn't even know I'm coming yet, but yeah, they kick you. Here he comes, Joe. Joe, welcome back here to Flamboro. How do you feel about the place?
It's a fun track to drive always. I just honestly just love racing, so it's any track you can go to and try and put on a good show is a good time to me. I'm excited to see where we line up here. This is obviously a stacked field, lots of fast guys, and 150 laps, so you never know what's going to happen here.
All right, here's a tough question for you. What track don't you love going to?
I haven't found one yet, so I'll let you know when I do.
That's fair. Let's talk about 150 laps today, a longer distance than most of the races here on the tour, and most races we've done in the past. How does that change your outlook tonight going into the event?
Well, obviously you have the same goal of getting to the end first, because you can't win the race if you don't get there. So 150 laps is a lot for some of the guys here, and I think it definitely changes how you look at the car in practice. You got to make sure you're consistent, and long run wise the car is not going to fall off or go away on you. Like I said, there's a lot of good guys here, so if you're fast at the beginning and then you drop a 10th, all of a sudden you'll be at the back.
All right, Joe, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Joe Lawrence, Adam, and Kevin as we get ready to go down here. And one other guy I'm jumping right now is Sean Chenoweth. Sean, you know this place better than most. You kind of cut your teeth here. If I had to pick a track that Sean Chenoweth, I know you from, it would be Flamboro for sure. So for the guys who may be trying to cut their teeth or figure out how to survive 150 laps, what advice do you have for them?
You don't got to get it done on lap one around here. You need to have a car at the end. It's such a tight little racetrack, but I mean, there is 2 lanes here if the guys can all run with respect with each other. And I was on both sides of that, cutting my teeth here. Like you said, I had lots of years where I ruffled a lot of feathers and sometimes had to learn the hard way, but you need fenders, you need doors to get done these races, and as long as we can all be respectful, I'm sure we can have a great show tonight.
Sean, about 10 years ago, you were a hothead, on it all the time. What has calmed you down to the point that you're smiling and chilling at the racetrack now?
Probably a lot more now that I'm paying for a lot of it myself, and I obviously got great sponsors as well. When Dad said he's done paying, it's your baby, I had to figure out how to make things last, and now we're doing a lot of the work ourselves on the cars, and that's like, I don't want to go home and spend all week fixing this car. I got a day job as well, so if it ain't there, it ain't there. We're not racing for $1 million. I mean, I think each spot might be $100. It ain't worth it sometimes. You just got to save your stuff and fight for another day.
Is the inside or the outside the preferred lane here? I'd say the inside typically, right? Like if you get stuck on the outside, are you ever going to choose the outside?
I might take the outside on the front row, but after that, you don't really want to be on the outside here. It's tough. Like I said, there's 2 lanes, but I mean, the guys on the bottom know just there's a little more room up, and you're going backwards if you don't get it done in a lap or 2 up there. So, like I say, on a restart, I might take the outside on the front row, but other than that, I'm probably taking the bottom every time.
All right, we'll watch for you, Sean. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Sean Chenoweth here in the London Recreational Racing Machine down here as they get set to go. I'll jump in with one more and then I'll give you a break, Adam. Josh, we just watched your interview as we led up to it. You know, just talking about racing the different places and, you know, Flamboro can be tough, man. We talked about that in the intro today. Now you've had some laps out here. What I want to talk about is Ford versus Chevy. You've got one of both. You've won a lot of races in the Chevy already. I'm told this is the Ford today, so why pull the Ford out if the Chevy is winning?
More or less just sponsor obligations with Canada Clean Fuels this year. What I do is I basically have a 20 race schedule and I split the cars and do 10 races with each of them. And Flamboro is right on their dog. This thing was at a golf tournament with them on Thursday, was ready to go, and I told them that I was going to run it at Flamboro. But it's tough in the Ford. They restrict us down a little bit, and you got to wheel it.
You're probably one of the only guys who's going to take that deficit to help out a sponsor. Talk about the corporate help and your program there, the businesses and the partners that help you get this done. This isn't a cheap sport. And those types of things, you taking kind of a backward step, so to speak, with performance to try and honor them, that's got to be a tough for you some days.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for sponsorship, and we try to canvas as many people as we do and self-market ourselves. I mean, I still work a job. Like, this is strictly a hobby. So at the end of the day, we're making golf tournaments and car shows, and we do career days at high schools, and we try to just educate people on it and get different people helping us out on the car, and yeah, we just have a blast with it. It's a lifestyle, right?
All right, I'm getting out of your way so you can get some autographs here, Josh. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Josh Dottie, driver number 17. He's going to sign a few autographs here. Adam, give me a couple minutes. We'll get right back to you.
We can do that, Clinton. No problem at all. In fact, what we want to do, while we had the time to talk to some of these drivers just before the season started, we asked them a series of questions. And we asked all the drivers the same thing. One of them was, what advice would you give to a newcomer coming into the sport? Here's how they answered. What's a piece of advice you would give to someone just starting out in racing?
Test lots, don't give up, and always keep practicing.
Just take your time, you know, practice a lot. Practice makes perfect. You just got to, hard work will pay off in the long run 100%, and you just got to keep respect on the racetrack, and off the track will help you in the long run.
To have fun with it is it's the main thing, you know. No matter what you do, you can get as many sponsors as you want, but you gotta invest some money in it, so you gotta have some fun while doing it.
Take everything as it comes. Don't ever take it too seriously. And if you're not having fun, there really is no point in keeping on racing. I think that a lot of people learn that too late or don't learn it at all. And I think it's what has kept racing fun and exciting for me and my team for over 10 years.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. You don't know what you don't know, and there's a lot to learn in the racing game. So you always got to ask questions. Don't feel like you're asking any silly ones.
To listen to as much as you can from anyone that's been in this sport for more than 5 years, because any piece of advice that you would get from them, you need to actually listen to it and nourish it and grow your career with it.
Get the respect from the other drivers. A lot of guys have been doing it a long time, so don't maybe start that pole position if you've never been out on the track.
It's always cool to get that insight from drivers. And we have got a guest up here in the booth who's going to spend the rest of the APC show with us. Lane Zardo, great to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks, Adam Ross. Thank you, Clinton. Thank you, Spencer. It's a pleasure to be here. Feels good to be back at the racetrack after last weekend, but really pumped you guys asked me to come back up here.
Yeah, you know what? We never even really thought of that. Obviously, last week you were here. You got upside down in the race car. Not the kind of thing you want to relive. Not the kind of thing you probably want to think about. But coming through the gates, does it remind you of great times, or does it remind you of some of the hardships like you had last weekend?
Not so much coming through the gates. The drive down here, I remember pulling the truck and trailer down here last weekend, just being so pumped up. So seeing some of those sights on the way down to Flamboro Speedway kind of brought up some of those memories. But as soon as you get through the gate and you start talking to all these all the great people at the racetrack, they're just it's your favorite place to be when you're involved in this sport. So I was just very excited to come here as soon as I got through the gate, and I was even more excited to come up here to the booth and talk with you guys.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. Over the last number of years, probably people are most used to seeing you behind the wheel of the number 36 Super Stock. And those races are physical, they're fun to watch, but they're not 150 laps, Lane. You got the opportunity to run some longer races last year. What is the difference between going out for a 50-lap Super Stock race and getting ready to run 150 laps in a late model?
Well, mix that in with Flamboro Speedway, and you just got to kind of roll the dice and see how your luck plays out. You'd have better odds at Las Vegas, to be honest. But yeah, I was talking with a few drivers here who didn't qualify the greatest, just as I was doing my pit walk. And the biggest thing I was saying is, if the guy's gonna stover in there on lap 3 or lap 4, just let him do it. It's 150 laps. Flamboro's very elbows up. You're gonna have to be very aggressive, but don't be very aggressive until there's 30 laps to go. It's easy to get pushed around out here. These walls are on a way, they're just banked on a way where you don't really want to hit them. Very tight corners racing. It's the most Bodog track there is in Ontario, but 150 laps, just let people kind of take care of themselves. If you're not involved in one of the cautions, you're probably going to get a top 5 at the end of this race.
You know what? That's great insight, and we're going to remember that because we're going to bring it up a little bit later. Kevin, is there anything you want to ask our guest, Lane?
Yeah, Lane, it's, you visited Victory Lane a couple weekends ago with the first of that Steel City Rumble Series Super Stocks. How does it feel picking up checkered flags at a spot where you guys have been? The Zardo family's been around for so long.
Yeah, my grandfather had a memorial race here, so this was his home track. This is where I started racing at the age of 12 years old. Have a lot of good memories here. Have a few bad memories here. So 2 weeks ago we won. Last week we flipped. The unfortunate part is I won in somebody else's car and I flipped in my own car, so I got to rebuild it. But this is our original home as a racetrack. I remember coming here even when my cousin Pete Shepard raced and grandstands were full and the original go-kart track that I started racing out for is on the infield of this racetrack. So it really does feel like home.
No, as it should, Lane. And that, you know what? There's a lot of us in that same position. The funny thing was there was always Cayuga Speedway when it ran Friday nights and Flamboro Speedway that ran Saturday nights. And Cayuga, there was a lot of prestige and a lot of glory. And I know this because my dad was part owner of late models that ran both. He said we would go to Cayuga and we would lose money every week. You go to Flamboro on Saturday and you could make some of that money back. Flamboro was never a place a lot of people bragged about racing at. But if you could be good here, you could go almost anywhere. Would you agree with that statement, Lane?
Yeah, when I started kind of coming up through the ranks and when I went on to win a few championships at Sunset Speedway, my biggest competitors were guys named Randy Rusnell, Matt Bentley, all guys that grew up kind of racing here. So it's that elbows up racing where you can't take too much. You can't take too much bull from the guys that are beside you. You really got to kind of hustle and deal and really kind of try to make a name for yourself. So yeah, good luck to all the drivers out here. Let's try to keep all the fenders on our boys and let's go racing for 150 laps.
I think that's what everybody wants. Clinton, let's go down to you, finish off an interview or two, and then we're going to take a bit of a break here because nobody wants to listen to us ramble on for another half hour or so before the action kicks off.
Well, we're down here with Junior Farley. He has just been presented the $100 Hard Charger Award from 5-Star Race Car Bodies from the last race at Sunset. Junior, anytime you can pick up some cash to start the night before we even drop the green flag, that's a pretty good start to your Saturday night.
Yeah, for sure. I got to thank Chris Weiss and everybody from 5-Star. They've been a big supporter of the series, and we've been fortunate to win some of their products at the end of the year banquet. So always run 5-Star, and they hold up good on these short tracks.
150 tonight. You've got some history here. How do you feel?
Not too bad. Wish we were starting a little closer to the front, but it's a long race, and you just got to stay out of trouble until halfway and then start picking them off.
So is that the situation? Just ride till about 75. If they're not coming right to you, you're just going to hang there. But then after 75, you got to start sticking the nose in?
It all depends on the pace up front, right? If you don't want to drop back too far, so just play it by ear and see how the guys are running up front, and hopefully they run a decent pace, but wear some of their stuff out too.
How'd things go last night?
Yeah, not good. We had some issues with our wings, so unfortunately we weren't able to make it. It was pretty frustrating, but we'll be geared up and hopefully maybe go to one of the races. I'm not sure which one. Maybe Sandusky, that might fit into the schedule, and then at the end of the year, Evans Mills.
We got a great car here. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much, guys.
Junior Farley, guys, he's our Hard Charger Award winner from Sunset. He'll pick up the $100 from 5-Star Race Car Bodies.
Thanks very much, Clinton Jeffrey, and we are going to take a break. You'll still be able to see the visuals from right here at Flamboro Speedway. But when we come back, it'll be time to introduce the starting lineup and go racing for the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. As you can see, the front straightaway has been cleared of all the people who don't need to be out there, most of the people anyhow, and we are soon ready to get rolling with driver introductions. Before we do that, Clinton Jeffrey, you've been down in the thick of things for the last half hour or so.
Trying to find all the good gossip. Found a winner, though. We've got Sean Chenoweth down here. He is our Midway Leader Award for $250 from McCall Racing Enterprises for picking up the Midway Leader. He was leading at the halfway point of the Sunset Race. Sean, anytime you can start the night with some cash in your pocket is a good start. Thanks to the folks at McCall.
Yeah, thanks a lot to them guys for putting this on and supporting the series. And I was just lucky enough to be at the right spot at the right time. We didn't lead long, but we got out there and led a few laps and got rewarded for it.
Good luck, Sean. We'll get ready for driver intros.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Sean Chenoweth, $250 richer from McCall Racing Enterprises by virtue of being the Midway Leader at our last race. Once again, I'll ask all fans to please clear the front straightaway, and we will get going with driver intros in just 1 minute. We'll talk to Trayton Lapsovich for a second. Trayton, welcome back to the series, driving the Holdaway car today. Obviously, it must be tough for you when you don't get a lot of seat time. You know, obviously you can communicate with Taylor what you like and what you don't, but how tough is it when you just jump in at the racetrack and try and figure it out?
It's a little tough, but, you know, Taylor makes it easy. Big thanks to Academy Construction, Hummerview, Taylor, the Holdaway Motorsports team for making it possible. We tested a couple weeks ago, really got the car close to where it needed to be. Today it was a little bit different on a different set of tires, so we struggled maybe a little bit in practice, but I think we made some good adjustments and it'll be okay tonight.
150 tonight, what's the patience? How's that feeling for you?
Yeah, pretty much, you know, going to see what the pace is when we start up the race. But 150 is obviously a long one. We got a break at 75 too. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. Might try and save some early, save the car, save the tires. And the goal is to be there at the end of 150.
All right, thanks, Trayton. Good luck. Adam, we'll send it up to you. We're going to get ready for driver intros. Give us about 1 minute. We'll get to the back of the grid and we'll be ready to go.
No problem at all, Clinton Jeffrey. Let us know when the time comes. 20 beautifully prepared cars. I believe I see 20 cars out there. Our vantage point, I love this vantage point. I've announced some races here at Flamboro Speedway going back too far, going back 30 years almost. And used to announce from the tower right at the start-finish line. Kevin, I love the view we have from the Turn 1 building.
Turn 1 is really nice. You get a different vantage point. Typically every Saturday I'm over up on that main tower behind the grandstand, and yeah, you can see right onto everything, but everybody kind of coming at you at Turn 1. You get a different vantage point. You can see the track a little bit nicer. It looks really, really good from down here in Turn 1, and it's just a little bit of a different perspective and really helps to call the race a little bit easier.
No, I think it does. You don't have to crane your neck. Everything is sort of right in front of you. And with no further delay, let's announce the starting lineup for tonight's GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Scheduled to roll off 20th from Guelph, the Hudco Electric Supply, Adams Building Supply, Nav Canada, MRC Wireless 97D, Tyler DiVincenzo. Starting 19th. From Innisfil, the Mobile One, Connell's Construction, Aurelia Metal Fabrication, number 2, Kendra Adams.
Rolling off in 18th, out of Waterford in the Presley's Pumpkin Patch, Queensway Truck Center, Gallant Farms. It's the number 31 of Kevin Gallant. Rolling off in 17th position out of Oshwekin in the Glenn Stiers Racing, Chantarelli Promotions, Oshwekin Speedway, number 0, it's Glenn Stiers.
Rolling off 16th from Durham, the NTN BCA bearings number 71, Corey McAllister. And starting 15th from Kilworth, the Domus Developments, H&N Roofing, Southwest Property Care, Vienna Dental, Glencoe Auto Recyclers, number 19, Connor Ritico.
Rolling off in the 14th position out of Port Hope in the Signs Flooring, CarStar Facility Services, number 81, it's Jacob Mercer. To the inside, rolling off in 13th out of Dorchester in the APC Auto Parts Centers, Canusive Automotive Warehousing, Miami Muscle, number 3, it's Shay Gemmel.
We're going to back up one spot to the 13th starter out of Guelph. The Burn Apparel, Onyx Hose and Tube, Epic Racewear, RMP Metalworks, number 72, Junior Farley. To the inside of row number 6, from Hamilton, the Bennett Construction Group, Platinum One Contracting, Streamline Racing Products, Van Duren Racing Development, number 51, Mike Bentley.
Now time to meet your top 10 starters. Rolling off 10th out of Pickering in the Real Landscaping Plus, Langille's Metal Recycling and Trucks Parts, Snow City Cycle and Marine, it's the number 94 of Corey Luciano. Rolling off in the 9th position out of Guelph in the Wellington Systems, Shaw Motorsports, number 83, it's Dale Shaw.
On the outside of row number 4, from Windsor, the Laguna, number 30, Ray Morneau. And starting 7th from Grimsby, the Academy Construction, Humberview Parts, Holdaway Automotive, number 41, Drayton Lapsevich.
Starting in 6th, from Chesley in the Canadian Flat Roof Systems, Nickel Insurance, APC, Vinnie's Masonry, number 17, it's Josh Stoddy. Rolling off in the 5th position, from Plattsville and the London Recreational Racing, Waycreed Automotive Products, VP Racing Fuel, KR Communication, it's the 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
Starting 4th from London, the Elite Property Group, number 78, Joe Lawrence. And starting 3rd from Mount Bridges, the Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Raptor Filters, Cameron Crane, Connell Construction, number 52, Jake Sheridan.
It's time to meet your front row starters. Starting in 2nd from Milverton in the APC Auto Parts Centers, Pennzoil Dayco, number 22, it's Kyle Steckley. And rolling off on the top spot from Orangeville in the Spira Fire Protection, Just Foam It Spray Insulation, Stage It With Style, number 18, it's Cole Quinton.
Race fans, that is your starting grid for the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for the most famous words in motorsport.
Calling all race fans. We have launched a new travel site where the race fans can enjoy free savings and upgrades on all of their travel needs. RacerTravel.com is free to join and unlocks unpublished bookings and rates for our racing community. Up to 50% off on more than 1 million rooms across the U.S. and Canada with unpublished discounts on hotel bookings. Unlock a hidden selection of hotels and rates that cater to your travel preferences. Whether you're heading out to the track as a competitor, fan, or anything in between, use Racer Travel for all your race, business, and vacation travel needs.
The My Race Pass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway, where it is nearly time for the most famous words in motorsport. I'm Adam Ross, joined tonight by Kevin Small, Lane Zardo, Clinton Jeffrey, as always, is down trackside. Clinton, what's our timeline looking like?
We are just getting everybody ready here, Adam. Once we are good to go and they get the thumbs up, we will be firing the drivers up with our good friends here from NTN Bearings. So give us a minute, Adam. We'll let you know right when we're ready to go.
Lane Zardo, great to have you with us. We brought you into the program a little while ago. You went down and did a grid walk on the front stretch. Did you learn anything?
Yeah, we got to talk with Sean Chenoweth a little bit. He's been here testing a super late model, and he's excited to get his super stock program back on track next weekend at Peterborough Speedway for the APC race. It'll be a hell of a show there. Make sure you guys come out and check that out. Always a fun time talking with Sean Chenoweth. He is quite the speaker, whether you're on the good end or the bad end of it. We also got a chance to catch up with Josh Stoddy, and he wanted to make sure I shout out that it's the 150th anniversary for the Sick Kids. So congrats to them, and hopefully Josh has a good race running with them.
No, for sure. And Sean Chenoweth is a throwback. I think if they're direct is the term I'd use. He's not rude sometimes.
Yeah.
He is sometimes.
Yeah.
He takes the most direct way to tell you what you need to be told at that given time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's always what you want to hear, but he definitely says it, and he's got a smile on his face most of the time when he is saying it. But he is a hell of a competitor. He's one of the best drivers there is on the circuit, and realistically on any circuit. He's a very versatile driver. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles 150 laps here at Flamboro Speedway now that his Pro Late Model program is kind of back on track here.
What goes through your mind when you're sitting in the race car right now? Car's not running, you're waiting for the moment.
I've had times where I'm about to puke. I've had times where I can't shut up. I've had times where nothing's going through my mind at all except for whatever I have to do. There's everything and nothing in between. And it is as amped up as you are and as much as your nerves are at an all-time high, it's the most calming feeling for a driver, just being there. There's no sound in the race car. Your spotter's not talking to you. You're about to get the command, and you're just getting amped up.
Speaking of which, let's go trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot, Adam. I've got Olivia Lee here, our representative from NTN Bearings, as we kick off our first round of the NTN Bearings Triple Crown event. Olivia, give it to us loud and proud.
Racers, start your engines.
Thank you, Olivia Lee. Guys, cars are fired up, and we're getting ready to roll here.
It's been a long day for these drivers, a long day for these race teams. Now it is time to roll off. You know, as we say that, the sun is going down to a point where even during the autograph session, it seemed warm looking out over the track. It is going to cool off significantly. That'll change the handling of these race cars. Kevin, what do you expect we're going to see?
I think we're going to see a really, really good race. It's going to be a fantastic show. all these drivers are going to do a good job. They got to bide their time. 150 laps is a long way to go here around Flamboro Speedway, so it should be a great battle. We're going to see some action throughout the field. Typically Flamboro tends to be a one-groove racetrack. We'll see if that high line will come in a little bit as the race goes on. 150 laps, a lot of rubber is going to get laid down, so it should be a great show and one the fans are going to want to watch.
Yeah, just to touch on that, it is a one-groove racetrack, but on a restart, if you're on the high side, you got about 3 corners to really make it happen. You got to get the jump, you got to kind of pinch them off coming off the corner, and you got to be a little bit aggressive. But the high side can be the place to be on a restart here. You just got to have the cojones, as Adam Ross would say it, to get it done out there.
Sean Chenoweth was probably the most interesting interview when it came to where you can make things work. And his point was there are 2 very usable grooves at Flamboro, but drivers in both grooves have to be open to allowing that to happen.
I'll tell you what, the most usable groove at Flamboro Speedway is leaning on somebody else's door.
8 tires turn better than 4, and that's the old expression. Good looking field of late models here assembled at Flamboro Speedway for the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. The first race in the NTN BCA Bearings Triple Crown. An additional $15,000 point fund.
Yeah, that NTN number 71 driven by Corey McAllister definitely stands out to me for the NTN series. It's got that nice chrome 71 number, and there is a bunch of good-looking cars here, like you said, Adam.
There's a couple of drivers we want to keep a close eye on tonight. They are our ones to watch from Stewart's Equipment. The first of those drivers, the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. He looked like a new man at Sunset Speedway in the opening round of the APC series. Bring him home to a track he is most comfortable on. He is definitely one to watch. Our second driver to watch just loves racing at Flamboro Speedway, loves the elbows up style, loves the aggression, and has had a lot of success. It's the driver of the APC Canusa number 3 of Shea Gemmel. He is starting deep in this field, but make no mistake, Shea Gemmel knows how to get it done here at Flamboro.
Triple Crown winner in that number 3 machine. He's going to be one to watch, certainly in this 150 lap race.
Sean Gibbs up in the flag stand, yellow flag in the air. Sean, if you can hear me, when are we doing the wave lap, or did we? Normally, race director Trevor Hambley will shout down, "Hey Adam, it's the wave lap this time." We're in 2 different buildings at opposite ends of the facility, so that's going to be a tough one here tonight. But if you see these drivers waving, feel free to give them a wave back. Salute them for the 150 laps they are about to give us.
I'll tell you what, guys, the energy is going to be very high inside these race cars. I know as a driver, right now is my favorite time in the race car. You're just kind of warming up in the car. You're dumping the clutch out a little bit. You're spinning the rear tires. Nothing makes you feel more like a race car driver than the warm-up laps here right now.
And you can see the drivers weaving these cars left to right. American Racer tires, slicks is what they run on. Everybody bolted 4 fresh tires on for qualifying earlier on. Wave lap this time by. Race fans, get up on your feet, grab your hat. Just use your hand. Give these drivers a wave. They're going to be waving back. Lane, I always felt there was a special kind of bad karma for a driver who doesn't wave on the wave lap, and I'm excited because it used to be a thing. They didn't always. Now pretty much everybody does it.
That might be the hardest part about being a race car driver, because we sit so goddamn low in these racing seats to get the weight down low, and most of the better race car drivers are pretty short, so just getting your hand over top of the roof can sometimes be a struggle. I normally cheat. I have a hat right beside my seat, and I throw it out there and give a good wave to the crowd.
Meanwhile, you've got Kevin Gallant, who can reach out the driver's window of the car and all the way over to the passenger side if he wanted to.
Oh, he could shut your car off if you're battling side by side with him.
Doubling up the field in preparation for the white flag. 150 laps the distance. Cole Quinton on the front row on the inside. That's Myra number 18. Kyle Steckley alongside. Talk about a couple of young lions.
I'm excited. This is going to be a great race. 150 laps. The GRISDALE Racing Products 150 at Flamboro. We got a fantastic crowd on hand. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, what a beautiful sunset as well. We got a beautiful scenery here. Everybody in the grandstands looks to be enjoying themselves. Well, what a view as we get the one to go.
Yeah, we think about our fellow countrymates out in Manitoba and Saskatchewan with the forest fires. The last couple of days have been smoky out here. Much nicer here today as that Flamboro Speedway pace car about to peel off the back straightaway and leave the field in the hands of Cole Quinton and Kyle Steckley.
Driver's going to be careful for a checkup here.
This is what I'm excited about, Lane, is the little things that you'll be able to tell us during this race. Green flag is out. We are underway. 150 green flag laps. Whoa, they are stacked up. Corey McAllister into the outside wall. Kevin Gallant in the back of Corey McAllister.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle Steckley had a little bit of struggle getting on the gas there, and it caused a massive checkup through the field. We'll have to see the replay.
And that has the track about 90% blocked off. Kevin Gallant doing a favor to the group, getting that car rolling. Some damage to the Pretty on the front of the Kevin Gallant 31. McAllister with the nose of that car all caved in. Let's have a look at our replay on GeForce TV. I mean, like you said, it looked like Steckley didn't get off as quick as he might have, but that chain reaction didn't happen until back around Shea Gemmel on the outside.
Yeah, that's hard for the spotters to check that up.
Yeah, they were playing bumper tag there on the outside line, and just looks like the 71 and the 31 were kind of the unfortunate combatants there heading into turn one.
Lane, at that point, how much is on the spotter and how much is on you just having to have quick reflexes?
There's a famous saying in racing, and it's called "That's racing, man." And that's the unfortunate part. It's unfortunate for Corey McAllister. I don't think he got too much damage there, and Scott McQueen down there leading the crew charge. They'll have that car fixed back and coming back out here for the 150 laps, but definitely difficult for it to happen at the start of the race here.
Kendra Adams with a little bit of damage on the 2 machine. You can see the hood buckled just a little bit. Otherwise, it doesn't look like anybody really took any serious damage. We can see the hood coming off the McAllister 71 from our vantage point here in turn number 1. Now remember, there's a halfway break at lap 75, so you don't have to send the car out ready for 150 laps. If you need to cut corners, if you need duct tape and bungee cords to keep that thing together and then create a plan for the midway break of the race.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a break before midway here at Flamboro Speedway.
Yeah, chances are.
Just see some right rear quarter panel there on the 19 of Connor Pritico. He's got a little bit of damage on the back end there as well. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but if it gets pulled in a little bit too far, it might have a little bit of a fender rub potentially, but keep an eye on that machine. But again, that was just that chain reaction on the outside, barreling into turn 1 for the first lap.
Crew members back in the NTN BCA pit at Corey McAllister. I can still see them running back and forth, so I can see the people. We just can't really see what they're doing. Looks like Kevin Gallant has just come back onto the racetrack in that 31. As we said, just a little bit of the Pretty on that right front fender, but it serves a purpose. You need that fender there. You need the downforce on the front nose of the race car. Lane, have you ever had damage that you noticed a difference?
Pro Lane models are very, I like driving big aggressive dump trucks where you can kind of beat and bang a little bit. The thing about a Pro Lane model is you knock out the toe that 1/4 of an inch. You're so reliant on the bump stops that you feel it the next corner. With other cars, sometimes you feel it over the course of 20 laps. These cars you feel pretty noticeably. You feel it in the front splitters, so they will feel it, but I don't think there's going to be too much. For Flamboro Speedway, they got off pretty lucky.
Well, we're going to stack them up, try this again. 0 laps are complete. Yellow flag still being displayed, and I've got to think they're giving some courtesy laps to Corey McAllister and that 71 crew to try to get that thing buttoned back up, sent out onto the racetrack. How do the nerves change? You talked about feeling like you're going to puke, and then the relaxation of the pace lap. But something changes when the green flag comes out, even if it's only out for 10 seconds like it was, Lane. Now what are you feeling?
It needs to be out for at least 30 seconds for you to calm down, because this is just a whole brand new complete start, to be honest. So, the drivers know that there's a potential for I mean, racing's a dangerous sport. They know there's a potential for something to go wrong, but as soon as the white flag comes out, that's when all the nerves stop. You shut it off, and you know, the best will work best when they're under pressure.
You got it. Corey McAllister back on track. Hood is off of that 71 machine, and it looks like the rest of the structure of that car is pretty good. I don't see a lot of tape on it or any bungee cords, so we'll see if he's able to keep it up to speed. We're going to go green one more time at a turn number 4. Cleaner start, sorry Kevin, that time all the way through the field. I was watching towards the back.
Yeah, they got a good jump on that one. Kyle Steckley actually took advantage, and he's going to sneak out ahead of that 18 of Cole Quinton, side by side for the race lead. But looks like lap number 1 will go to that 22 of Kyle Steckley.
Yeah, Kyle Steckley tried to lay the door to him a little bit there, tried to pinch him off, but Cole Quinton made hay down there on the bottom.
I'm really surprised on the opening lap with no heat built into these tires that Steckley didn't get the advantage there. Cole Quinton looks to be edging out ahead. Jake Sheridan, he's not going to pass up the opportunity. He gets a nose to the inside of Steckley.
Sheridan going to look back to the inside, still side by side. That battle for second and third. Cole Quinton sneaks away at the front of the field, cleared by about a car length back into 1 and 2. But Sheridan trying to get the job done on the bottom side against the 22 of Kyle Steckley.
The top 4 really breaking away from this field. We got Chenoweth rounding out the top 4, and he's going to be pretty antsy up there. But so far the top 4 running pretty clean, and the rest of the field trying to kind of just get the way through single file.
Yeah, most of the field trying to single file themselves out, but that battle for second continues to rage on as Sheridan still side by side with that 22 of Kyle Steckley. Sean Chenoweth right there on the bumper as well, the 52 machine of Sheridan. He's not going to pass up that opportunity to look to the inside. They're still side by side off of turn 2.
3 of the youngsters in our sport out in front, Cole Quinton, Jake Sheridan, Kyle Steckley, and then arguably, maybe not arguably, the driver with the most years of experience, Sean Chenoweth back there in the 4th spot, rejuvenated.
Now, who's got the most laps under their belt? Because Kyle Steckley's been running he's been putting in the work in the States here.
He's run a lot of long-distance races, that's for sure. Sean Chenoweth going to follow Jake Sheridan. I think Kyle Steckley, someone must have come on the radio and said, look, it's not worth fighting right now, because he definitely conceded those positions and drops back in line.
You can see those top 3, top 4 drivers, they actually really started to pull away even though they were running side by side. They started to pull away from the rest of the field. You can see the onboard machine there of Josh Stoddy in the 17. He's going to work on that 78 of Joe Lawrence. He took a peek down to the inside last time in 3 and 4. Stoddy maybe looking to see if he can make up a little ground. He's just knocking outside the top 5.
Oh, looks down low, goes for that dive bomb, kind of makes it clear off here.
Battle deeper in the field. I believe that's for the 7th spot. Josh Stoddy in the 17 to the inside of Joe Lawrence. This could be trouble for Joe Lawrence. Stoddy goes by. Dale Shaw goes by. Now Shea Gemmel drives to the inside of that 78.
Lawrence's spotter is going to be saying, get down to the bottom, protect that groove, and he's going to slide back in behind that number 3 of Shea Gemmel. Right ahead of that 94 of Corey Luciano. Those drivers now single file themselves out as we work lap number 5. Drivers just starting to settle themselves into a little bit of groove in this one.
I got my eye on Connor Pritico kind of near the back of that pack. He's quietly made up a few positions here, and it looks like he's taking that little bit of a wide arc, trying to get on the gas a little bit earlier. I feel like he's going to come on strong here.
Well, that's going to be the fun thing. Do you want to be coming on strong right now? Is that going to hurt you 100 laps from now, Lee?
It depends on where your position is. If you're riding somewhere in the top 10, you can kind of pace a little bit, but if you're outside that top 10, you really need to be up there. Cautions are going to play a big part of this in whatever line you're in, but you can't be slacking too much. It's like a game of chess.
Yeah, right on. They're expensive chess pieces. Cole Quinton doing a great job managing that gap. It's been right around 0.8 of a second for the last 5 laps or so. Sheridan will pick up a couple of hundreds, then he'll lose a couple of hundreds. He picked up well there, picked up a couple tenths of a second.
A little bit deeper there, you can see there the onboard shot there, the 52 of Jake Sheridan.
We got a car going around.
Halfway around, Kevin Gallant, the 31. Half spins that car and gets back up to speed. He's going to go a lap down on the back straightaway, but let those leaders go by. He sees there's a gap there. He'll probably pick up the pace. out of turn 4.
You can see that right side door panel almost coming off on the 31 as it's flapping in the wind. That's probably due to that lap 1 incident. So Gallant's trying to see if he can settle themselves out.
Is that a spring?
It's something up in the top side of turn 2. It's definitely rolling to the outside groove.
And the way it's rolling would lead me to believe if it's either roll bar padding or okay, there we got a great shot from Jack. Maybe a piece of exhaust, I'm not sure.
We'll see if what the race director decides. There it is, out of the groove just a little bit, but right now we continue under that green flag, closing in on 20 laps in the books here so far.
We got a pass for the lead.
Holy moly, Sheridan to the inside of Cole Quinton. They're door to door. Sheridan edges out ahead of him at the stripe.
This is a tough time for a spotter because you got 3 cars there. Is it worth it to fight on the high side, or do you just tuck back and kind of save your tires? You're not too worried about your rear tires at this track. You do get a little bit sideways, but that right front can get heated up in a hurry.
And you can see Sean Chenoweth taking advantage of that, and he's going to look down to the inside on that 18 of Cole Quinton. Chenoweth, like you said, revitalized after that Sunset Speedway run, and right now showing really good speed here early on. He's going to take that second spot away now. Kyle Steckley in the 22 is going to look to the inside in 3 and 4.
If Sean Chenoweth gets to the lead, he is going to be a hard person to pass. He's got this little move where you try to get to the inside of him, and he makes it very hard on you going down each straightaway.
He is fun to watch. Old school racer, some slower traffic for the race leader. Sheridan to the outside of Corey McAllister. McAllister keeping his car down on the bottom. Kendra Adams in that 2 machine. She's keeping her car down to the inside as Sheridan goes around her.
Leaders starting to get into just a little bit of that lap traffic. The rest of the field kind of single filing themselves out. Jake Sheridan out front, Sean Chenoweth second, Kyle Steckley third, Cole Quinton fourth. Then it's about a half straightaway back to the next group of cars, led by the 41 of Trayton Lapsevich.
Yeah, that group from about 5th to, 9th, they're just kind of quietly maintaining a pace. And all 5 of those drivers are highly rated drivers. We got, I don't know how many track champions we got split in between them, but they know what they're doing. They're probably just biding their time and kind of relaxing and waiting for things to sort themselves out.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. There's a lot of talent all the way through this field. But you know what also excites me, Lane? Seeing a driver like Mercer, geez Louise, I couldn't spit it out. Mercer in the 81, someone we don't know a ton about, but young talent out there cutting his teeth.
Yeah, he's originally from Peterborough Speedway. Normally has a pretty solid program out. Really cool. I believe he was here about 2 weeks ago. They Flamboro Speedway had a Pro Le Mans race. Josh Stoddy, Shea Gemmell. A few cars were out here trying to get some test laps in, and he was doing pretty good cutting his teeth here at Flamboro Speedway.
Sorry, Kevin.
I was going to say, Mercer's been out a couple times, and he's got a little bit better each time out. And right now he's just going to try to fight to stay on that lead lap as Jake Sheridan going to look to the inside. As Mercer might actually be going into the pit area here.
Oh, he misses the spring or the foam.
Yeah, good for him, but Jacob Mercer, unfortunate early in the going. Mercer pulling off into the pits.
Looks like we got Steckley all over the back bumper of Sean Chenoweth. Kind of getting him a little bit sideways. Chenoweth looked to be showing him the outside line there, which is gracious but not easy.
Well, out in front, Jake Sheridan leading the way. He was out in front by 68 hundredths of a second, now by 94 hundredths of a second. So he's starting to walk a little bit on Chenoweth.
We just had another driver pull off, Kevin Gallant, the flying farmer, Kevin Gallant. Want to give a quick shout out to him. He runs his own farm, Presley's Pumpkin Patch. A great facility to go to for family in the fall seasons when you're getting ready to go pick pumpkins. Go give them a look up when you're looking for some family fun.
Always been a big fan of Kevin Gallant as a person. He's just a solid guy.
You should see him as a dancer. Those long legs go kicking.
Is that right? Junior Farley to the inside of Joe Lawrence down into turn 1. Right behind him is Connor Pritico. Lane talked about Pritico earlier on that he looked pretty sporty in the 19. He'll take advantage of Junior Farley's work, and both of them pick up a spot.
Josh Dottie looking to the inside on the 30 of Ray Morneau off of turn number 2, but Morneau in that 30 machine shuts the door. That's just outside the top 5 of Stottie. Your round number 1 winner up at Sunset Speedway, looking to see if he can try to work his way through the field. You got Dale Shaw right behind him in that 3 of Shea Gemmel. They're still nose to tail as they come into 3 and 4.
Our top 3 are closing in. Sean Chenoweth really closing the gap on Jake Sheridan the last couple of laps.
When that guy smells it, he smells it. He's going to be on a mission, especially at his home track at Flamboro Speedway.
See the 18 of Cole Quinton just drifting back from that top 3 just a little bit as the 41 of Trayton Lapsevich kind of closes that gap there as well. So those couple of groupings of cars are starting to slowly join into one group here. We're going to see a little bit of a battle here between that 18 and the 41 of Trayton Lapsevich as he tries to pull away from that 30 machine as we work on a couple just before lap 100.
Trouble for Connor Pritico in that 19. He is off the pace, and the way he's wiggling the steering wheel back and forth just a little bit tells me he's not sure what's wrong with that car.
That's a heartbreak for Connor Pritico, him and his family operation. Have you guys ever got the chance to talk with his father, Paul Pritico?
A little bit.
He is one amazing dude.
So the left side tires are up. The right side tires seem to be up. He's going to cross the racetrack and head into the pits. And still working that car back and forth. Why would you do that?
There's so many mechanical things going on underneath the hood of a race car. He could have went to turn the wheel and something might have popped. He might have felt something in his steering wheel, might have felt something in his butt. You never know. But the way he's working the steering wheel, it could either be he's just not comfortable with one of the bolt-on parts, or there's a lack of power.
We got a couple of onboard cameras in this event. I love in-car cameras. Safety crew going to pick up whatever that was that rolled there in turn number 2 and sat there very nicely for all that time. We're 39 laps into this GRISDALE Racing Products 150. And as much as things settle down over the course of a longer run, they amp right back up for a restart.
Restarts are where you can make a lot of positions in a hurry. You know, everybody's really tight together. If you get one side on the outside, you can see there the 78 of Joe Lawrence. He's going to duck off into the pit area there as well. So side-by-side action, you're going to try to get as much as you can off this restart, even though we're closing in kind of towards that halfway break here coming up in just a little bit. But you're going to want to set yourself up for that second half of those 75 laps. So this is where you're going to want to try to get as many positions as you can.
Yeah, but you also got to be careful. Cautions do breed cautions. So I'm sure a lot of drivers are going to be, their shoulders are going to be hurting by all the stress.
Corey McAllister pulling up behind the pace car now. He'll pull around, getting the free pass under this caution, so he'll get a lap back. Jake Sheridan out in front in the 52. Sean Chenoweth in the 89C runs second. Kyle Steckley third in the 22. It's the 18 of Cole Quinton fourth. Rounding out the top 5 is Trayton Lapsevich in the 41. 6th through 10th, the 30 of Ray Morneau with the 17 of Josh Dottie. 83 of Dale Shaw, the 3 of Shea Gemmel, and the 72 of Junior Farley. Behind them, Corey Luciano quietly having a solid run. Glenn Steyer's in the 0. The 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo. And then it's Kendra Adams in the 2. Now we're going to hold you to your word here, Lane. So there's going to be a choose cone, so we'll see what Jake decides, but I would imagine Jake will go low. And Chenoweth is going to the inside.
I would think that maybe he's just trying to play it a little bit conservative. I mean, Kyle Steckley's got a lot of, he's going to be very confident there on the high side. And what's he got to lose if he doesn't get the lead? He's going to go back to third, which he was already. So maybe Chenoweth just want to play it safe. Once again, there's still, 110 laps to go?
Yeah, a lot of racing still to come. 111 laps remaining. Connor Pritico back on track. That car almost looks like it's not tracking straight. But I could just be imagining that. I'm going to look at it next time down the front stretch.
Yeah, Flamboro's a very scary track when you're not full.
Well, guys, I got over here to the pit area, and I can tell you they had Joe Lawrence up on jack stands, too, so something's going on with the 78 car as well. The Pritico 19 didn't get over there in time. They checked under it, looked it over, they sent him back out. So whenever they were adjusting there, they must feels all right. We'll watch the 19 to see if he can maintain pace here.
Lane, we're going to give you some inside baseball here, so you can hear when Clint cues his microphone. So you think it's magic, but no, you hear a little bit of background noise. That says, okay, Clint cued his mic. That means he's about to say something.
I was wondering if he was back there doing the track walk.
Oh, yeah. He's always there. I don't know where he is, but he's always there.
Well, that's why he's so fit, I guess, because he's always everywhere.
And that's... Yes. Coming back to the green flag, 111 laps to go. Jake Sheridan going to set the pace. Kyle Steckley up to the task of restarting in the outside lane.
Looks like Steckley's going to squeeze in there nice and smooth in the second position right in front of Sean Chenoweth.
Big move by the 17 of Josh Stoddy. He jumped all the way down to the inside line. Now he's going to get jumped by that 3 of Shea Gemmell right behind that 41 of Trayton Lapsevich. The unlucky driver, the 18 of Cole Quinton, he got shuffled up as well. He went from 4th to, I believe, about the 8th position. We said, got to get positions off the restart, and Quinton just wasn't able to get going off that restart.
Yeah, Flamboro Speedway's got a little bit of a different style because there's no inside wall, so it allows the drivers to have a little bit more confidence when they're trying to slam their way down because they know that's where they got to be.
Kyle Stackley almost looked like he was going to take a poke to the inside of Jake Sheridan through turn number 4 last time around. Let's see if he was able to close that gap again. Sheridan with half a car length, and Stackley closes in right to the back bumper of the exit of 4.
Sheridan holding that nice tidy wheel at the front of the field. Stackley, though, putting some big pressure on the back bumper of that Pride Seeds number 52 machine. Sean Chenoweth about a car length behind them as well. Right behind him, that 41 of Trayton Lapsevich. We might have a bit of a race for the lead as Kyle Steckley looking to the inside in 1 and 2.
Jake Sheridan gave him plenty of room, but you can still see the arc he ran through turn number 2. He kind of poked the 22 in the right front just to keep him down low.
They did a good job of slamming down there in front of Sean Chenoweth. Sean Chenoweth just couldn't get there quite in time.
Cole Quinton continuing to slide backwards. Ray Morneau to the inside. Now Dale Shaw going to go by into turn number 3. Junior Farley right there as well. So Cole Quinton, the driver that started on the pole position, sliding back through the top 10.
Junior Farley in that 72 machine, he's going to take that spot away. Quinton's got some room behind in front of that 94 of Corey Luciano. He's going to slide all the way back to that 10th position. Quinton trying to see if he can maybe just hang on to this until they get to that halfway break and see if he can maybe tweak on that car, go to work with the crew to see if they can make some changes for the second half.
It's worth noting that Kyle Stackley is driving a Port City race car, and this is relatively new to that team. They can make anything go fast, but to make it go fast over 150 laps, they don't have the notebook that they had for all the years they were running McCall chassis. This is all new.
Yeah, it's also difficult where you're running a chassis where you don't have the builder's support at the racetrack. You know, you always see each guy's running their own specific chassis, and they're always fast in the south when they're running a Fury because they have those guys at the racetrack. So to not have Port City at the racetrack and just have Scott Steckley, Kyle's father, at the racetrack calling the shots, it speaks very highly of their program.
I can't think of anyone I would rather have calling the shots, but point made that nobody here from the manufacturer. Steckley out in front. 9/10 of a second ahead of Jake Sheridan. Let's see what the gap is this time. We ride on board with Jake Sheridan. Love that view.
Look at how close he gets to the wall in that view.
Gives you a good sense of speed with that GRISDALE Racing Products onboard camera. As Sheridan tries to see if he can maybe close that gap to that 22 machine. He's opened up a little bit of a gap behind him there as well. Sean Chenoweth runs in that 3rd spot, a couple car lengths back, and it's another couple car lengths back to that 41 of Trayton Lapsevich, who's got a bit of a train of cars behind him. Shea Gemmell quietly knocking inside the top 5 in that number 3 machine.
All right, Lane, I want you to watch Connor Pritico next time down the front straightaway. It's like he's having to steer that car, make a correction on the front stretch. I think he might be moving down, but have a look at this. Yeah, he's going to get down out of the way, so.
Yeah, it still does look a little bit uneasy, and Flamboro's a very, very intimidating track. You got long straightaways and very tight corners, so if you're not completely confident in your equipment, it can be very, very aggressive on your nerves.
So I believe for the first time in this race, we've got a leader out in front by more than a second, but a second and a half. Kyle Steckley leading the way over Jake Sheridan. Sean Chenoweth running in the third spot. All three of them have to be comfortable knowing the halfway break is coming. Then you go back to Trayton Lapsevich. He's got a rear view mirror full of Shea Gemmel and Josh Dottie, two of the more aggressive drivers on the circuit.
Shea Gemmel's really been putting some pressure on that number 41 machine of Trayton Lapsevich. Josh Dottie knocking on the door there as well. Ray Morneau, Dale Shaw, Junior Farley. Those 5 drivers are nose to tail back into 1 and 2. Lapsevich in that front of that train, but who knows for how long.
Yeah, 4th to 9th have been glued to each other since before this last restart. They're just kind of hanging on, driving around, waiting for the person in front of them to kind of mess up, and as soon as they do mess up, one of those drivers are going to pounce, so that's another position they can have right before the halfway point.
We're only just over 15 laps from the midway break of this race, so you've got a few drivers who'll be up on the wheel trying to make sure that they stay ahead of Kyle Steckley. That's Corey McAllister in the 71, the 2 of Kendra Adams. They're a little more than half a straightaway, almost a full straightaway ahead of Kyle Steckley, so it'll be interesting to see if Steckley can close that gap and try to pinch them another lap down.
That is the battle as well for Rookie of the Year between the number 2 of Kendra Adams and the 71 of Corey McAllister. Both of them are very new to Flamboro Speedway. I believe Corey had a little bit of test laps here 2 weeks ago for a weekly series race, but Kendra Adams has never been here before, so quite an eye-opener for her, but glad to see her out.
I'm really impressed with how Kendra is running. We talked about this earlier. Sunset Speedway is such a different racetrack. It demands such a different driving style than Flamboro, but she's actually done pretty well to keep that car underneath it.
And a beautiful wrap on her Mobile 1 car as well.
You can see that action there. Trayton Lapsevich, Shea Gemmel, Josh Dottie, they are still going at it nose to tail. Lapsevich holding on to that spot, but Shea Gemmel ever so slightly taking a peek down to the inside on corner exit. The spotter's got to be telling him that Josh Dottie's right there in the back bumper, and as he says that, a little bit of contact off of turn 2. Drivers gather it back up. We can see the onboard shot there from the 17 of Josh Dottie as he goes to work to see if he can make a move on that number 3.
Yeah, Kevin, we got quite a bit of action in that field. There was Dale Shaw working the absolute tail off of the 30 of Ray Marneau there for the positions right behind as well. It's getting heated up here right before the halfway point.
Steckley to the outside of Kendra Adams. He'll put that Mobile 1 number 2 machine down another lap. And now see Corey McAllister out the windshield. Can McAllister hang on for these 8 laps it's going to take to get to the midway point?
I don't think I've ever driven a race car so hard as I was when I was about to be a lap down, to be honest.
That's a big time fight, trying to stay on that lead lap, and you can see that gap closing just a little bit.
Unfortunately, it makes you slower when you try to do that sometimes too.
The harder you work, the less speed you're going to gain. There are strange things about car racing that you wouldn't understand until you do it, but that slower is faster line, and you got to turn right to go left from cars. Everything you need to know you can learn from the movie Cars.
Well, Adam, you've got a fair share of car experience. Kevin, have you ever ran a stock car?
I ran a dirt mini stock once. The rear end was out of it, and I almost took down the front straightaway wall at Oshwegan Speedway, but hey, that's okay. I still had a lot of fun.
There you go. It just gives you a brand new view of the whole sport.
100%. I ran here when we had the ride night, where they go for rides around the racetrack, and it's just a totally different perspective when you're behind, sitting in the passenger side as you go around this 3rd mile, Flamboro Speedway.
My favorite night in stock car racing in Ontario was Kids Ride Night at Flamboro Speedway.
Yep, back in the day, that was a big deal for sure. Tyler DiVincenzo and Joe Lawrence get around Glenn Stiers in that 0 machine. We're closing in on the halfway mark, but Kyle Steckley is closing in on the back of this pack. What's going to arrive first?
Corey's now just praying that he doesn't get to the 0 of
Right, if you're Corey McAllister, no big deal. We went a lap down, but we'll get the lap back after the break if we're the top running car 1 lap down, which he is until Kyle Steckley able to put a lap down on Glenn Stiers, if he's able to put a lap down on Glenn Stiers.
A battle for the staying on the lead lap is really heating up, but I'm still watching that battle with the 41 of Lapsevich and the 3 of Shea Gemmel. They are still beating and banging as we come closer to that halfway break.
Stiers does go a lap down to the 22 of Kyle Steckley. The halfway flag being displayed from Sean Gibbs up in the flag stand. Boy, oh boy, they're getting racy back there around Kendra Adams in that number 2 machine.
Stoddy took a peek down to the inside. A little bit of contact off of turn number 2 as Gemmel trying to hold that bottom line as Josh Stoddy right there as they work around that 2 of Kendra Adams off of turn 4. The battle continues to rage on.
It is one of the hardest things to be coming a lap down. These race cars are designed to be driven as smoothly as you can. So when you're trying to take it easy, stay out of everybody else's way, it's very difficult to keep it on the bottom.
Yeah, that's a great point as we wait for race director Trevor Hamlin to give the yellow flag signal to signify the midway break. And it's very clear in the rules, the yellow flag is displayed. What they try to do is make sure that the field is settled. There's no battles going on. They don't want to affect the outcome of the race, so they want things to be sorted out. Yellow flag is out. This is the midway break of this race. Clinton Jeffrey is about to go to work. Our midway leader is Kyle Steckley, the McCall Racing Enterprises midway leader. That'll be $250 for Kyle Steckley, the driver of the number 22. So what they'll do, they'll gather the field together. They will probably send Glenn Stiers around the pace car because they always give the driver their lap back before we get to the midway point. But it looks right now like Stiers is drifting back. I'd imagine they'll be telling him to pull ahead here shortly. And then once he gets to the tail of the field, it'll be time to send the field into the pits and get ready for their midway service. Were we surprised by anything in the first half of that race?
Well, Adam, we're back here in the pit area trying to find a good spot here to give you guys some imagery. All the crews are now running back to the pit. They will get ready to make the changes they need to make here in just a moment's time. So, well, hopefully we can give you some images, but we're about as far away from our truck as we could be here. But they'll be coming down pit road here in just a moment's time, guys.
Thanks very much, Clinton.
Yeah, I think the only things I was surprised by was Steckley maybe spinning his tires off the initial start, and then on one of the restarts, I was a little bit surprised by Chenoweth not taking the high side, but completely understandable. He's in a good spot, kind of wants to keep his car good for the last half of the race where it matters.
I thought the drivers did a really good job. Aside from the initial start where there was some bumper tag going on, I thought the starts and restarts were pretty clean. Everyone was able to get themselves sorted out.
By no means am I surprised that Kyle Steckley is leading the race, though. I would have put a lot of money on that one.
So, nobody in the top 10 or so is going to come down into the pits. They're all staying on the racetrack. All the drivers from about 10th on back took the opportunity to duck into the pits. They will come back out onto the track in the same order they left the track.
So, guys, they will hold everybody in place here. The horn just went off now, and you'll see the crews are able to start getting to work, and they will start doing all the service they can here, starting with the 97 of DiVincenzo. They will start by putting fuel in the 97 back here. All kinds of work going on the 2 of Kendra Adams, and of course just ahead of her is the Cole Quinton 18, and you see Gary working on the Left side here, they got crew right underneath the back end as they work on fuel here. Lots of activity down here on pit road just ahead of the Steyer's crew. Fueling up as well. So guys, what do you make of it here? Not everybody coming in from fuel. That means obviously they're going to make it, right?
Well, yeah, I don't think fuel is an issue whatsoever. I'm a little surprised. If anything, I could see some of these teams fueling up just to get more weight on the back end of these race cars. So more of a handling thing than a fuel capacity thing.
We see the McAllister crew going to work just behind us here in the 71. All kinds of stuff going on. They've got the toe plates out here on the McAllister 71 car, trying to get this one back relined for Corey a bit better. Obviously, the lap 1 incident put him in a bad spot to start his night. They've been racing without the hood here. And you can see they've got the toe plates trying to check the alignment here on the front end of the NTN Bearings 71 for Corey McAllister. The hood is up on the Steyer's car, and I have to think that's a front-end adjustment as well. And we'll get down there and see what we can find out, guys.
Clint, if you can see the Connor Pritico pit from where you're at, are they still working on that 19, or does it look like his night's over?
Well, he is pulled into the pit stall. They've got the left side jacked up onto the jack stands, and they are having the hood up right now. So we'll get down there and see if we can maybe get some audio from the Pritico pit here. Give me a second. I'll strut down there and see what we can find.
One of my secret pleasures of doing this job, Kevin, is making Clinton walk and run as far as I physically can in the facility without him knowing. I just want him to have to get the steps in.
You're just making him work off all those Flamburgers he had earlier, right?
Something like that. So we continue with this midway break. It is a 5-minute break. You heard Series Technical Director Daryl Timmerman sound the horn to start the clock. We will hear him sound the horn once again when it ends, but for now, let's go to a quick break. When we come back, the second half of the GRISDALE Racing Products 150.
Step into the fast lane with the Race of Champions Modified Series, only on RacingAmerica.tv. The best drivers, the wildest races, and non-stop action are here, bringing the heat to short tracks all through New York and the Northeast. From nail-biting finishes to fierce rivalries, this is modified racing at its best. Don't miss a minute of the excitement. Watch the Race of Champions family of series all year long, only on Racing America.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordeo Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8 mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordeleMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. We're at the midway break. We've got a lot of cars rolling back onto the racetrack, so that must mean the break is completed. Clinton Jeffrey has been down there in the pits chasing stories. Not sure if we have his microphone from as far in the pits as he had to go, but I hear him chime in now.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough back there to get everything at him, but I did get a chance to talk to Connor Pritico. They have a problem with the bearing on the left front. First the bearing went, that's why they stopped on the front straightaway. Then that ended up overheating, taking out the left front hub. So he's out of this race with a left front bearing and hub issue on the front end of that car. The Zero of Glenn Steyers, they were also working zip tying rags around what appeared to be the steering rack. So I believe he has a small power steering fluid leak here on the Zero of Steyers. And other than that, everything looked good for Cole Quinton, just standard maintenance here as they got the Spire 18 ready to go, guys. Those are the stories we were following back here in the pits.
Great work as always, Clinton Jeffrey. As Joe Lawrence rolls back onto the track and the yellow flag is once again displayed. It's been a great race so far. Little battles, a lot of give and take, and that's what you kind of expect in the first half of a long distance race. I even expect that for the next 25 or 30 laps. Beyond that, these drivers are going to start to get in a hurry.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The second half of this race action is going to heat up. Those positions are going to be a little bit more important. You're maybe not going to give that inch that you did in the first half, so we'll see how the second half plays out. And I was really excited for the beginning. I'm really excited now for the second half.
Well, now we're getting into the money laps. Everything's fine and good. Qualifying is fun. It's great to be the fast time. Then you get into an invert situation with the top 6 with this series. But this is what we're here for. We're here for lap 150. These drivers all know it. The first half was all a matter of positioning yourself where you want to be for the start of the second half. And the choose cone is out. Oh, Sean Chenoweth with a late decision to head to the outside.
He always likes coming close to that cone. He's an interesting guy to be behind when you're behind him on the choose line. This is a hard time for the spotters when you're behind the top 10 as well. You're trying to tell the driver how many cars are on the inside, outside, who's there, where to go, and ultimately it's just kind of about luck.
And ultimately, it's got to be your choice as the driver, Lane, does it not? No matter what the spotter's telling you, you've got to go with your gut.
Yeah, you gotta go with how the car feels. If your car feels like it can fire off really good on the high side, then have at it. Really, it's only worth it to pick the line you don't want to if there's a 3-position deficit that you can kind of gain there.
Guys, if you recall in the pre-race, Sean Chenoweth told us the only time he would choose the outside lane is if it was on the front row. So that's what we've seen here. We'll watch what Veteran can do. He knows how important it is to not get hung out. You can hang here for a lap or two, but if you start fading back, you've got to get back in line.
Clint, you're absolutely right. And I think the other thing that they're gambling on is that they are just that much faster. When I say they, I mean Chenoweth, Stackley, and Sheridan. Then Shea Gemmel and Trayton Lapsevich, that if he's going to lose a spot, he's only going to lose 1 and not 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, you never know what those drivers from 4th on back were hiding in the first half, though.
No, you're absolutely right. We're going to go green off of turn number 4. Kyle Steckley in the 22, Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. Chenoweth hanging back about half a car length, rolls out trying to time things. Did not time it particularly well. Let's see what race director Trevor Hambley has to say.
Normally they allow you to be a gentleman and give it back down the back straightaway. Let's see how that plays out there.
Yellow flag is displayed. Naughty stick going to be pointed at Sean Chenoweth.
So
but you can't blame him. It's a free opportunity.
Chenoweth pulled your basic Flamboro Speedway restart. Normally on a weekly division here, we're not waiting until the front straightaway till a specific cone. So Chenoweth did what he kind of always knew to do, which was go that little bit early. And like I said, there's a rule that APC has that's pretty cool where if you do jump the start, they give you a full lap to kind of give it back and be a gentleman about it. Obviously, Chenoweth didn't feel like too gentlemanly there, and repercussions are going to be had.
Now, I wonder if they're going to go back to a choose cone again, or if they force them to go back to the same order they were in. I'm actually not sure from a rules standpoint. It looks like they're going to force them to go back to the which is really how it should be.
Yeah, you made your bed, you got to lay on it.
Right? Man, I can remember back in the day when Flamboro had the gate on the back straightaway, so you entered and exited in the same spot halfway down the back stretch. That's about where Junior Hanley used to restart.
Yeah.
That's where you'd pick up speed, was down the back stretch when the green was going to come out at turn number 4. I never understood that.
So dirt racing has, what's it called, the Delaware double?
Yeah.
Where the pole position car kind of restarts by himself. Flamboro used to have 1, 2, 3 double up, and I always thought that was really cool. You know, first, second, and third kind of has. They don't have too much to worry about. They got the race in their hands, and then normally third place gets jacked up by fourth and fifth pretty good though.
It was a huge penalty to be fourth.
Yeah.
Being fourth sucked. Being fifth, you've got wide open space. Closer restart that time. Sean Chenoweth still across the line, a little ahead of Kyle Steckley. Steckley clears him through 1 and 2.
Shea Gemmell did a good job on that second row, getting down to the bottom. Now Chenoweth is going to have to try to fight that 52 of Jake Sheridan. Shea Gemmell's going to slide in there. Trayton Lapsevich as well. Chenoweth battling on the outside, going to try to find a hole down the bed of the back straightaway.
Stoddy under fire a little bit further back in the field. Lost a few positions there. Now battling on the outside of Dale Shaw, just looking for a way in.
Chenoweth did a great job, and his spotter, to get down behind Jake Sheridan into the third spot ahead of Shea Gemmell in that number 3. Good clean restart. Corey Luciano still hung up on the outside. Cole Quinton in that 18 trying to make some gains after sliding backwards in the first half of this race.
Quinton, one of those only ones that did make that pit stop towards the top half of the top 10. So we'll see if he has anything here in the second half as he continues his march towards the front. Now the 97 of Tyler DiVincenzo. He's going to look to the inside of the 94 as well. Joel Lawrence in that mix there as well as they try to work themselves out here and try to settle in line.
I've been watching that 22 the last little bit, and he's sparking on the ground, which normally you would see pretty aggressively for the first few laps when the tire temps or tire pressure hasn't come up to operating pressure yet, but they got that car working so perfectly that it travels perfect to the ground, and it's just barely nicking the racetrack there.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. He's got Scott Steckley on top of the toolbox back there. And he knows a thing or two about making cars go in a circle really, really fast.
You can see there with that onboard shot there from the 52 of Jake Sheridan, that big fireball off of turn number 2 has started to set. The lights have come on. The track temp is going to start to cool off just a little bit. So we'll see how these cars are set up for the second half of the race when the track temperature is going to drop just a little bit without that sun off of turn number 2.
The fun thing about this onboard look, you get to see it's not as smooth as it looks. Like when we watch him on the track, we think, wow, Jake Sheridan's running a really smooth line. From inside the car, you can really see the difference of when you're off the throttle, when you get back on the throttle, and the different steering that you have to do.
Yeah, the next thing would be showing the driver's hands and feet, and after that it's showing the driver's mind, and sometimes you don't really want to see what's in the driver's mind, especially when they're in second place.
You can probably talk this a little bit better, Lane. Is there a certain spot on the track that's rougher, where like maybe a bump off of turn number 2? You know, there's lots of different characteristics a lot of different racetracks have, but this one seems to be pretty tame throughout the whole racetrack racing surface.
Well, from the look of it, Flamboro Speedway is actually the most symmetrical racetrack that we got in Ontario. The corners are a little bit different. You can normally get a little bit tighter going through 3 and 4, but generally you run the same line. You try to stick it up above that apron. You try to stick it up about half a car length, and if your car is running really good, kind of cut it down there. Get your left front to just touch the apron coming off, get it to set really nice, and drive on down the straightaway. The most unique thing about this racetrack is where that big fireball sets, which is coming off corner 2, and sometimes it can blind the drivers going through 1 and 2, but one thing I was always told is if you can't see, neither can they, so that's where you might want to make your move.
That's, my dad used to say that. It doesn't matter what the track's like, it's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
One characteristic Flamboro Speedway does have is the inside of the exit of turn number 2. The track just goes away just ever so slightly. You'll see more spins on the exit of turn 2 than you will anywhere else in this racetrack. Because if you try to drive to the bottom, if you're not careful on the throttle, the track goes away from you, you lose that grip.
where the pit side grandstands are is a terrifying place to sometimes watch these cars, because the angle that they come off the racetrack looks like they are going to go right on your lap every single lap. Sometimes you can't watch the battle for the lead because you're too busy making sure the car in 5th or 6th doesn't run right over the wall.
That battle there, the 41 of Trayton Lapsevich, he's got a full freight train of cars behind him. That 30 of Ray Morneau is knocking on the door. Dale Shaw, Josh Dottie, Junior Farley there as well. Got a little bit of a battle up ahead too. Shea Gemmel looking to the inside on the 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
Yeah, we had a little bit of bumper tag there, just what you were talking about. Ray Morneau got to the inside of Trayton Lapsevich. He's going to be followed by the 83 of Dale Shaw. And soon will become Josh Dottie and Junior Farley right there. So we'll be seeing how Trayton Lapsevich can handle the outside right now.
Gemmel got around Chenoweth with a bit of a bump. Chenoweth has now bumped Gemmel in the last 2 turns. Let's see if he does it again here in 3 and 4. Oh, he got a little loose.
If you're going to bump Chenoweth, you better be faster than him, because if he can get back to you, he will. Oh, we got a car going around.
Trayton Lapsevich around off of turn number 2. Junior Farley, the caution flag is going to come out. We'd mentioned that group of cars, they'd been together for what seems almost like the whole race. And it looks like the 41 of Trayton Lapsevich, I'm sure we'll take a look at it, but I think he might have had a little bit of help there on the exit of turn number 2.
Yeah, he was battling on the high side. Let's have a look. Our camera was right on it, and boy.
That was definitely some help.
Yeah, there's usually more to the story, but to look at it there, Junior Farley poked him in the left rear pretty hard. Nobody's going to save that.
Yeah, Flamboro Speedway, it can be very aggressive on your right front tire. So when you're when you're trying to keep your composure and you see a car struggling on the high side and you're trying to get there and get there and get there, sometimes it's that little bit too easy to just slide that right front, and all of a sudden you're a little bit of a villain in somebody else's story.
And to look at Junior Farley's 72 car, there's really not a mark on it.
No,
it's not like he's been out there rubbing things up. That's just the nature of Flamboro Speedway.
Nature of Flamboro, nature of these round bumpered race cars as well.
He is being sent to the tail. Junior Farley going to the tail of the field.
This is the moment where you said, Lane, a little bit earlier, cautions breed cautions. We're starting to get down towards the nitty-gritty here. This is going to be an interesting time where you're going to have to get up on the wheel here on this restart. We've got 96 laps in the book, so we're closing in on that 50 to go. This is the go time. You're going to have to start to make some moves here to really start to work your way towards the front in the last 50 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be very stressful when the choose code comes out. Not only do you got to worry about, if the cars in front of you are going to be fast and what positions you can make up, but you also got to worry about who you might have pissed off on your way through this field. You don't want to be beside somebody who can kind of try to square up with you at the wrong time.
I think it would be fun to hire a rodeo clown, because I'm just looking. We've got a choose cone, but we've got an official wearing orange with an orange helmet who has to take the choose. Why use the cone? Just have the official run out there. Sure, maybe you'll have to jump to the right, jump to the left. Once in a while, you're going to get hit by the bull. But I just think it would add a fun element.
I did actually buy a caution cone Halloween costume, and I was about to go do it one race. And then I think I saw Jake Sheridan and Jared Fitzpatrick both nail the pile-on in one race. So I don't think we got to get enough health insurance.
No, now that I think about it, it's a terrible idea, but still, these are the things that cross my mind under yellow.
Yeah, terrible and entertaining normally go hand in hand.
They can. Let's have a quick look at the field rundown. Kyle Steckley, of course, the race leader in the 22. The 52 of Jake Sheridan is second. 3, Shea Gemmel third. Sean Chenoweth in the 89C is fourth. Fifth is Ray Morneau. 6th through 10th, Dale Shaw on the 83. The 17, Josh Dottie. 97, Tyler DiVincenzo, having a great run. 78 of Joe Lawrence. 94 of Corey Luciano, also having a great run. Steckley goes low. Sheridan goes low. Shea Gemmel to the outside.
He'll be an aggressive guy starting on the high side there.
He was one of our Stewart's equipment ones to watch.
I've seen him make the high side work on a restart. He can be very aggressive in the right way.
You know, some of the battles he had over the years with J.R. Fitzpatrick here at this racetrack, at the time it was ugly, but you realized you were watching some real competitive spirit.
Well, like we just said, terrible and exciting normally go hand in hand. A lot with racing, unfortunately.
I'm going to be interested to watch that 41 of Trayton Lapsovich. He just came back out of the pit, so we'll see if they maybe tweaked on that car just a little bit. He was running inside the top 5 there until that last 2-3 laps where he got shuffled out, so keep an eye on that 41. The HumberviewParts.ca 41 machine going to try to work his way through the field here. We've got just over 50 laps to go, so keep an eye on that 41 here as we get into crunch time.
Just a little side note, I don't know if we can take a shot of Joe Lawrence's number 78 car, but every time I see it, it reminds me of Chase Elliott's Aaron's number 9 super late model. It's just got that look to it.
Yeah, right on. Man, you ask, Spencer makes it happen. There's a great look.
Beautiful race cars.
Is Joe Lawrence all racer or what?
Joe Lawrence is one of the funniest and smartest dudes I have ever met.
Mild-mannered, quiet, but put him in a race car, put him in a shop with a race car, he'll make it fast and he can drive it fast. Whoa! Kyle Steckley got a little bit loose down into the corner after contact with Shea Gemmel.
Shea Gemmel trying to be a little bit aggressive on that high side. Let's see if he can squeeze it in there in front of Jake Sheridan.
Sheridan going to put the power down on the exit of turn number 4. Keep that 3 of Gemmel to the top side. Still side by side, leaning on each other on the exit of turn 2.
He's going to pull that little bit. Yeah, he just tried to cut him down that little bit low there on the straightaway. Just squeeze his way in there. Ray Marneau very graciously let him in. That could have turned out bad.
It's still too early. It's too early to keep your nose there. 10 more laps if we get a caution and a restart. I think the gloves are off and everyone goes to town. Let's see though. Kyle Steckley out in front by half a second over Jake Sheridan. Is he able to pull away? They turned basically identical lap times that time around.
We got Chenoweth putting the loud pedal down. Just worked his way to the inside of the 30 of Ray Marneau and Josh Stoddy. Trying to sneak in behind him.
Marneau trying to muscle his way back down to the inside, but Chenoweth is right there. Stoddy, your round 1 winner up at Sunset Speedway. He's going to try to put the power down. They're going to be side by side in 3 and 4. Big wiggle there from the 30 machine as they head into 3 and 4.
It seems like the story of this race is if you're in the top 3, you're mildly mannering where you are. It's just you're kind of keeping your cool, but everywhere back from 4th on back, it's just maniac over there.
It is mayhem as Shea Gemmel keeping the pressure on Jake Sheridan in that battle for the 2nd spot. Further back in the pack, Dale Shaw has been fun to watch all night long as he gets the nose of that 83 to the inside of Ray Marneau, but Marneau able to power around the high side and keep the position.
Really hard to keep the power down when you're being pinched off the corner like that. Ray Marneau did a great job trying to keep his position out there. Just Dale Shaw could not get the power down that low coming off the corner.
Battle for the 2nd spot. Shea Gemmel goes to the inside. Jake Sheridan concedes. Now he's going to see about crossing over that 3 of Shea Gemmel. Nothing doing. Gemmel to P2.
Gemmel, that one to watch early on. He's worked his way up to that 2nd spot after starting really deep in the field. That number 3 machine, no stranger to victory lane here at Flamboro Speedway. He's going to set his sights on that number 22 of Kyle Steckley. Jake Sheridan, though, in that 52, you can see by the onboard camera, he's not letting him get away just a little bit. He's only about a car length ahead. That 3 of Shea Gemmel works on that 2nd spot, but Sheridan not letting him get too far out front.
Yeah, we got another good battle right behind him. It looks like we got 3 really good battles on the racetrack. 2nd and 3rd going at it, 4th and 5th going at it, and 6th and 7th, they're all kind of just going toe-to-toe, seeing who wants it that little bit more.
It's almost that time. 43 laps to go. This is basically now a Saturday night special for these drivers. Jake Sheridan about half a car length off the back of Shea Gemmel. Hasn't been able to get much closer. Dale Shaw basically has been riding in the back seat of the 30 of Ray Marneau. He just can't get the power down to complete his move.
Yeah, Marneau seems to be running almost like that middle line on corner exit. You can see by some of these shots here that the rotors are starting to heat up on these racing automobiles as we work towards the back half of this GRISDALE Racing Products 150. You can start to see those right front rotors heating up just a little bit as we start to get a little wear and tear on those machines. That 30 car of Marneau really glowing on that right front as he works to try to stay ahead of that 83 of Dale Shaw.
Kevin Gallant in the 31, I believe he's about to pull off. He's had sparks coming off from underneath that 31 machine.
Yeah, tough day for the flying farm of Kevin Land trying to come out here and run with the APC Tour.
Kudos for trying. Kudos for coming out here and putting in the time. He had the speed. He was with the pack.
It takes a lot of behind the scenes to make these cars go fast, especially with this series. And Kevin is a true diehard racer. Doesn't always have the background or the back tools that all these other guys have, but what he lacks in tools, he normally can come up with in just brute force and ignorance. So was happy to see him out here trying to compete with these guys.
Yeah, for sure. Josh Dottie getting racy behind the 89C is Sean Chenoweth. The front brake rotors glowing orange. On the 17 of Josh Dottie, Kyle Steckley all by himself. Nearly a 2.5 second lead over Shea Gemmel.
Josh Dottie in that 17 machine. He is really working to see if he can make a line to get around that 89C of Sean Chenoweth. But like you said, Lane, Chenoweth isn't the easiest guy to work around, so Stottie's going to be very meticulous to try to see if he can find a way to get around that London recreational racing machine.
Yeah, you almost have to thank Sean Chenoweth if he graciously allows you to poke a nose in there. One thing I am noticing, though, is you're seeing the front rotors glowing on a lot of these cars. You look at the 83 of Dale Shaw, his rear rotors are actually glowing on it. So that's quite the interesting setup he's got going on underneath that 83 car.
Stottie trying again to get to the inside of Chenoweth, and Chenoweth is running a Flamboro defense line. It's that Corey Luciano heading off in the 94. Chenoweth will come off the corner. He didn't do it this time, but he'll come off and not come up to the wall.
They kind of run that middle line down the straightaway to really not give the 17 of Stottie an option to pick the bottom or the top. He kind of has nowhere to go. At some point in time, Stottie's just going to maybe say, hey, it's time to go, and maybe put that chrome horn to work on that 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
Is that the right move to do on what is the second race on the schedule? It's a long season, and playing going with a box match. Oh, we get into it. It could be a long season going toe-to-toe with Sean Chenoweth.
Josh Dottie makes the decision. Give him that bump in turn number 4. Take the spot. Now get away.
Just get away, buddy, for your own good.
The bump and run is a beautiful move, but the run is the important part.
Yeah, you got to run. And right now he's got about a car length between him and that 89C. We'll see if he can continue to pull away. Stottie seems to be a little bit quicker. We'll see if now he can track down that 52 of Jake Sheridan, who's about a half straightaway ahead of him. Stottie's now opened up about maybe a car length, almost 2 car lengths back into turn 2.
Stottie just needs to pray for a nice clean run. He was leading the points coming out of Sunset Speedway, winning the opening race. So if he can come away with a top 3 finish in a clean car, he's looking for a pretty good season here. He's been bridesmaid a few times, and he's been just waiting to get on that throne at the top of the list for the APC series.
You're absolutely right. We talked about that in the interview. A string of top 5 points results, but never the top slot.
We got an aggressive battle right behind them. Dale Shaw is meticulously looking towards the inside of the 30 of Ray Morneau, and Ray Morneau is just continuously pinching him off and making it very hard for Dale Shaw to get around him, just trying to stay in that top 5 position.
Shaw kind of hold on to that position. He's got Joe Lawrence right there as well, so you don't want to make too much of an aggressive move because you could try to look for a pass. The next thing you know, you're going backwards on the outside line. So Morneau going to do a good job to hold on to that 7th spot, but Shaw going to take a shot into 3 and 4. Morneau slams the door shut. It's getting down to nitty-gritty here as we work lap number 125, so 25 laps to go. This is a regular Saturday night feature here at Flamboro Speedway, 25 laps. It's time to go with 25 to go.
Joe Lawrence definitely has the best seat in the house, just sitting there watching this battle going on in front of him. You can't really tell if he's eating popcorn, enjoying it from his seat, or if his eyes are wide open in that helmet.
Well, you know he's ready to make evasive moves because these two have been close to going sideways a number of times. Shaw all the way up alongside Morneau, this time in 3 and 4. Morneau sideways off the corner.
That is Flamboro Speedway racing for you.
They continue to battle off of turn number 2, the best battle on the Speedway here. Dale Shaw trying to crack that top 6, but Morneau in that 30 machine holding on and running that line that Shaw can't quite get to the inside. Joe Lawrence in that 78 waiting in the wings, trying to see if he can make a line as well, but Morneau, they got a couple lap cars coming up. That looks like the 2 of Kendra Adams, so we'll see maybe Morneau can maybe use that 2 machine, maybe has a little bit of a pick to open up a little bit of a lane here into 1 and 2.
If you look at Bray Morneau's front rotors, how red they are compared to the 22 of Kyle Steckley, you can tell that Kyle Steckley is just basically on cruise control right now. There's no heat whatever coming from his front rotors. Meanwhile, Dick Trickle could light a cigarette off of Bray Morneau's.
There's a throwback. So Dale Shaw makes that pass on Ray Morneau. Now it's Joe Lawrence's turn to try to make that same move. Laps winding down. Shea Gemmel goes around the slower car of Glenn Stiers.
As Shaw starts to scoot away in that 83 machine from that battle for Morneau and Lawrence. Shaw clears the 2 of Kendra Adams. Now Lawrence is going to maybe see if he can make the move on the 30 machine as they come off of turn 4. They're close quarter racings. That's what Flamboro Speedway is. Close quarter racings, and they're going wheel to wheel here with inside 20 to go.
Trayton Lapsevich being scored in the 10th position, but he's made a, I wouldn't say a comeback, but a good charge. Tyler DiVincenzo, after missing qualifying earlier on, having a 9th place run. That's a solid run for the Hudco 97D.
We talked about a little bit earlier that battle to stay on the lead lap. We've got only 16, 15 laps to go here, and Kyle Steckley is closing in. So those guys are going to try to drive away, because if we get a late rate caution, you want to stay on that lead lap to make sure that you're in position for the battle at the end. As we say that, Joe Lawrence finally muscles that 30 of Morneau up just a little bit. Lawrence is going to take that inside line into turns 1 and 2. Oh, big contact. Morneau dirt tracking it through turn 2.
Good save by Ray Morneau. There's quite a bit of grip in the second groove, but in that third groove, there is absolutely zero grip here at Flamboro Speedway. Just a lot of marbles, and that little bit further, you get a slanted wall.
Laps winding down here in the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Kyle Steckley puts another lap on Kendra Adams in that 2 machine. Got a little bit of daylight out in front of him before he approaches the Trayton Lapsevich 41.
Drivers really starting to save their stuff here towards the end, as they're just starting to hang on to this one as we close in on the 10 to go sign. Kyle Steckley, that's one of the only cars, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Lane, I still don't see any heat building up in those rotors on that 22 machine.
He is on a Sunday drive right now. He is he was learning here a few years ago, and now everybody's bringing out a notepad and trying to study what the hell that boy's doing. He's just got such a smooth line on him. Scott Steckley obviously on the pit box there, and really knows what he's doing. Just that car must be a Cadillac to drive right now.
10 laps to go in the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Trayton Lapsevich gives a poke to Tyler DiVincenzo, the race leader, right behind them. This battle goes on side by side, just ahead of the 22. Kyle Steckley. Lapsevich will get around the DiVincenzo 97.
Steckley just making sure he minds his P's and Q's as he works around that 97 of Tyler DiVincenzo. Now Trayton Lapsevich going to be the next one. Steckley has about a straightaway lead, so he can maybe take a little bit of time to work around that 41 car, not put that 22 into a position he's not going to want to be a fan of.
Sean Chenoweth having to carve through some lap traffic. He gets by Cole Clinton in the 18. Now he's going to size up Glenn Stiers in the 0. Looks to the inside of that 0 machine off of turn number 4.
Chenoweth, that gap between him and the 83 of Dale Shaw is closing relatively quickly. Shaw's with a couple car lengths now. A couple lap cars are going side by side as we close in on 5 to go here this time by Chenoweth, trying to hold on to that top 5 position.
Dale Shaw is very good at being his fastest at the end of a race. Everybody spread out just a little bit on the racetrack. Kyle Steckley by himself, and look at this, Ray Morneau in the 30 machine, the next car that could go a lap down. Morneau runs in the 8th spot, all by himself in that 30, as we've got 3 laps to go this time when they cross the stripe.
Kyle Steckley still has that 22 machine out in the wind. As Lane said earlier, a Sunday drive so far. He's got still a straightaway lead between him and the 3 of Shea Gemmel. Kyle Steckley looking to see if he can pick up the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. So far, so good as he works into 3 and 4.
What a comeback off of a heavy upset at Sunset Speedway. If he can pull this off for the next lap and a half here, that'd mean a lot to them, bringing that Port City home.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a huge accomplishment if he can get this done. The white flag going to fly out of turn number 4 this time. One more lap to go for Kyle Steckley.
Kyle Steckley works into 1 and 2 for the final time. The 30 of Ray Morneau up ahead just a little bit, but he's got some breathing room. Kyle Steckley into 3 and 4 for the final time.
Through 3 and 4, he doesn't have to make a move on Ray Morneau. Checkered flag in the air. Kyle Steckley with the win in the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Coming home in the second spot, it's Shea Gemmel in the number 3. Jake Sheridan in the 52. Josh Stoddy 4th with Sean Chenoweth rounding out the top 5. A great run for the 89Z and another good points day. 6th through 10th, Dale Shaw, Joe Lawrence, Ray Morneau, Trayton Lapsevich, and Tyler DiVincenzo. We will head down to Victory Lane where Clinton Jeffrey will be waiting. And we'll see who's ready to celebrate, who's happy with their run. I have a feeling they all will be. You finished top 3 in a race at Flamboro Speedway that was 150 laps. You've got to feel pretty good.
If you finish a race at Flamboro Speedway for 150 laps, you feel pretty lucky, to be honest.
And Shea Gemmel coming from, where did he start, 11th?
Yeah, Shea Gemmel knows his way around Flamboro Speedway. Born and raised kind of around the Delaware Speedway racetrack, but never a stranger to Flamboro Speedway. Ran here in a super stock, had a little bit of success, and I found quite a bit of success here in a Pro Late model.
To the race fans, as you start to trickle out of the facility, thank you so much for coming out and taking in this live event at Flamboro Speedway. We appreciate you being here. We want you to drive safe and come back next weekend.
One thing an announcer at Flamboro Speedway always used to say is, please drive home safe. Remember, there's no checkered flag waiting for you at your driveway.
Good advice as Kyle Steckley pulls that window net down, getting everything situated. Clinton Jeffrey on the scene.
Thanks, Adam. Kyle Steckley, a picture-perfect day down here at Flamboro. We watched him win his first APC race a few years back, and now he's back here in Victory Lane once again. This kid has been hot the last couple of years. Hot a bit now as he gets a cold drink of water, and we'll pull him out here into Fuel Factory Victory Lane tonight. Of course, this is the first round of the NTN Bearings Triple Crown Series, and he will be the point leader in that as well. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Here he comes, Kyle Steckley. Kyle, let's come on around front, have a word with you. Kyle, you know, you're smiling today. You looked a bit grouchy today, but this is a good one for you. Come back to a place you've had a lot of success. You're the Triple Crown leader now, picking up the win. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, man, I just love this place. Always grateful to come here to Flamboro Speedway. John does such an amazing job with the track, and it always puts on a good show. So, man, we've put in a lot of work in this Port City race car, and I can't thank my guys enough. We've had a couple bad races, but to rebound like this, we dominated today, and super proud of them and all my guys behind me. Obviously, APC Auto Parts Centers, Pennzoil, everyone on this car, and I got to shout out Ivor Jones. He recently passed away, and without him, none of this would be possible. So super thankful to be here, and excited to keep chasing more checkers in this Port City race car.
Congrats, Kyle, and have a good week coming up.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckley gets it done, guys. Lots of racing on his calendar, as you can imagine. We get over here and talk to Shea Gemmel. Shea, you know, you had a kind of auspicious day, up and down throughout the day, but to rebound here to second and be on the podium, talk to us for the right reasons. Great finish to your day.
Yeah, first off, you have to thank NTN Bearings for putting up this 150 event here at Flamboro Speedway. GRISDALE Enterprises, they've always been a big supporter of the APC series and racing in Ontario. First off, you got to thank those guys. But yeah, we really didn't have a good car when we got here today. So the boys did a hell of a job today. Got this thing underneath me. Didn't qualify as good as we liked. I'm not the best at 2-lap qualifying, but we worked our way through the field, picked them off kind of one by one. Kept the tires underneath me, made some aggressive moves when I needed to, especially on that outside there. But no, like I said, I'm happy to have this car in one piece heading to Peterborough. Got to thank APC, Canusa, my Ray Colin, Castro, all my family and friends for coming out tonight. And man, I'm tired after that one.
Congrats, Shay.
Thanks, Gem.
Shay again will be second. We'll jump in here with Jake Sheridan. Jake, fighting for the title here this year. Third place is a good points day. I don't think you're going to be happy with that, though.
Man, it's all good. What can you do? We didn't have a very happy race car there. As soon as I let go of the brake in the middle, we were having problems. So I knew about lap 25, 30, we were in trouble. And I'll be honest, I probably gave everybody a little bit too much slack. I wish, having known what I know now, how the race played out, went green, I wish I held the 3 off. I gave them the bomb there, and I should have kept digging. But it's all good. That's small losses there. We had a solid day, man. We got no more damage in this thing. We got the deck all fixed up here, and we got a race next week in Peterborough, and I haven't been home very much these days. So really, really happy, really, really thankful for everyone on this whole program here. Raptor Filters, Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Connells Construction, Reynolds Trucking has been huge for me, and sorry I parked beside the 3 here. I don't know why we didn't line up side by side. I don't want to steal his thunder, but good job to these guys, and everyone did a good race today.
Thanks, Jake Sheridan. Jake Sheridan will be third. Shay Gemmell second. Your winner once again here at Flamboro Speedway. Kyle Steckley gets it done, guys. Take us home.
We gave you the top 10 rundown. Let's go 11th through the rest of the field, and then we'll sign off. Corey McAllister came home 11th. Great job for a driver who was involved in an incident on lap 0. Junior Farley, 12th, Cole Quinton, Glenn Stiers, Kendra Adams. Then rounding out the field, it was Corey Luciano, Kevin Gallant, Connor Pritico, Jacob Mercer, and Mike Bentley, whose race lasted just 5 laps. What a blast it was. Clinton Jeffrey trackside always doing a great job. But Kevin Small, we joked earlier about having fun working together. We get to work together about 2-3 times a year, and that's it, but it's always fun. And Lane Zardo, it was great to have you as part of the broadcast. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for getting me out to the racetrack today. After my eventful weekend last weekend, I wasn't sure when I wanted to come back out, but you guys did a good job getting me back out here, and it was a blast. It was actually a dream come true to be able to announce a race, especially with you two.
Fabulous. Kevin, good fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys coming in, and it's always fun to bring new guys out to the racetrack. And a fantastic race, the GRISDALE Racing Products 150. Kyle Steckley picks up the checker flag. Couldn't ask for a better day here at Flamboro.
Certainly couldn't. So from Flamboro Speedway, just outside of Hamilton, Ontario, we are going to sign off. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.